Peace. Salute. Salute, good people. Salute. Salute to the good fam. Excuse me. Hope everybody is doing well. Infinite blessings to the good people. As always, I'm extending some grace and some gratitude to the good family on this Sunday, as I'm just straightening, excuse me, straightening up my settings is what I was trying to say and get out. 1 second, let me just turn the screen up. Okay, I think I should be good. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Yeah, infinite blessings. Happy Sunday to the good people. You guys already know the deal. Let's see who's in the building to get some salutations going to the good family who are rolling through so far. Let's see who we have. Infinite blessings to the good peeps once again. Let's see who we got in the building. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if everything is audible. Put some 9s in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. You know the deal. Let me know that we are good to go. I'm looking good on my end, but of course, want to check in with the good peeps. Yes? All right, so while you guys are doing that, we got the King Khalid in the building. Infinite blessings to the King Khalid. Feel like I haven't seen you in a little moment. Hope everything is well for you. He says, can't await this cipher. Oh my goodness. Infinite blessings to the King Khalid. I'm glad to see you. I hope everything is well with you and yours. Oh my goodness. Look who else we got on deck today. Nice and early this Sunday, I see. My counterpart, all right, the King Freedoms March in the building. Big stepping with the King energy showing love. I appreciate you, King. What does he say? He says, yo, my lovely counterpart. Infinite blessings, King. You already know what it is with the energy. Salute to you, King. Always lovely to see you and have you. 10 toes on deck. We got the King drumming for life in the building as well. Infinite blessings I'm extending to you, King. I hope everything is well with you. He says, salute, SugarFreeMars. Salute to you. And blessings to you always, King. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness, we got my twin, Daryl Anderson, on deck. Always excited and elated to see the twin in the building. He says, salute to the beautiful queen, aka my twin, Sugar Free, and salute to the rest of the kings and the queens in the chat. Infinite blessings to my twin, Daryl. Big stepping with the love, with the magnanimous energy, as always, twin. Sending blessings to you, sending big, big love to you and yours. And yes, indeed. Thank you, sir. Please remind them. All right. Put them 9s in the chat. You guys are here for some good cooking today. Salute to my twin. We also have the King Tide in the building, as I call him. Just the Tide. That's what he is. He rolls in. He's a warmth of energy. Okay. I just call him the Tide and leave it there. Salute to the King Tide. He says, sugar free. Got my roses on deck, I see, my salutes, and he's saluting the chat as well. Blessings to the King Tide, 10 toes on deck. As always, King. Infinite blessings to you. Lovely to see you. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Hold on. I'm blushing a little bit. I got to relax. You guys know how I get when my beautiful King, BFTB, comes through, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I gotta love up on this man every time I see him in the chat, every time he graces the space. He's a big part of the reason why I do this. Okay, I gotta exalt the King whenever I see him. Infinite love, infinite blessings to my beautiful King BFTB, who simply says, salute goddess. Blessings to you, King. You already know what it is, so I ain't gotta say too much. You know how I'm stepping with you. Who else we got in the building? We got the King Snoopy. 10 toes in the building as well. You guys, I love seeing my family roll through. Snoopy just put some, FBA flags up in here, some American flags, right? You know what I'm saying? You got the dream team on deck, as always, to let the good people know how we rolling up in here. Okay? Dream team over everybody at all times, baby. Right? And all real fighters with that warrior-clad spirit. We salute those who stand in 10 toes in boxing. Absolutely. Salute to the King Snoop with that wonderful energy as always. Always lovely to see you. Oh my goodness. We got my queen, Mama Love, Tequila Fields in the building. Always happy to see my queen, Mama Love. She says, peace and love, beautiful warrior queen. Blessings to the family. Infinite Infinite blessings to you, Mama Love. Always excited and happy to see you. Oh, and look how it happens. Mama Love is first, and then my beautiful sis is right after. Salute to my beautiful sis, Cammy Cam in the building. Right, my Cammy Cam just celebrated her birthday. Right, so infinite blessings to you. I hope that you had a restful weekend. Right, as we chopped it up. Um, I hope you're in good spirits, of course. I'm sending infinite love. Big, big hugs your way, beautiful sis. She says, my beautiful sis, love and light to you always, with her hearts and her nines. Thank you, beautiful sis. Big, big hugs. And I'm sending you the air hearts too. The hand air hearts. I'm doing them right now. Big blessings to my beautiful sis. Who else we got on deck? The King, Rodney James, big stepping, one of my original gunners, you guys. The King Rodney is always stepping. Whenever he comes through, he steps very, very heavy in support of what we do here. Blessings to the King Rodney. I appreciate you, King. I hope everything is well with you and yours. He says, salute to you, Sugar-Free Mars, that healthy dessert. Infinite blessings to the King Rodney. Always lovely to see you. He gave me some nines. Okay, so that means I'm doing good. I'm audible to you guys, which is great. Let's see who else. I'm just scrolling through here, you guys, seeing who else. I'm getting all up in y'all's business. We got the King 4-ounce sniper in the building. Salute to you. Infinite blessings. Okay, I appreciate you for stopping through, carving out a bit of your time to come see you. Oh my goodness, hold up. I think I got a super chat, my first super chat of the evening. Oh my God, of course it's from none other than my counterpart, Freedom's March, ladies and gentlemen. He says, my sugar thing. Infinite blessings to you, King. I appreciate you so much for your constant support and that wonderful, wonderful energy, King. I appreciate you big, big. You already know what it is, okay? We also have the Village Brother, Big Steppin', in the building. He says, salute to you as well, King. I'm super happy. Okay, the good family is giving me the nines. You guys know that's my favorite number now, okay? Oh my goodness, who else we got up in here? The King Caldwell. Hey, King Caldwell. He's so sweet. Like, I smile whenever I see him. He's so sweet, and he is always in support, of the channel. Infinite blessings, big, big blessings and gratitude to the King Caldwell, who is so radiant and magnanimous with his energy. I appreciate you very much. He says, Sugar Free, I appreciate you. Oh, speaking of hand hearts, here's his. I appreciate you always and forever, locked and loaded for another magnificent live, full of positive vibrations. And he gave me a 9 to close it out. Thank you so much, Caldwell. I appreciate you. Okay. Oh my goodness, my bro, the King Ty is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. He says, all hail to the Queen. Salute. And gave me some flowers. Thank you so much, King. I appreciate you guys. You guys really make me smile. You really do. You really, really, really do. What did Khaled say? Khaled says, everything is everything, Sugar-Free Mars. Been wild biz at work. Really? I know exactly what you mean, King. I know exactly what you're talking about, right? The day-to-day hustle, AKA the grind is real, but I'm definitely blessed and thankful that you would carve up a little bit of your Sunday time to spend with me and the good family here. Oh my goodness, the beautiful Empress. Okay, that's my nickname for this beautiful Empress. Emma is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen, the Empress Emma, with her green hearts as always. That must be your favorite color, sis. Okay, mine is purple. But every time I see a green heart, I don't even have to see the name. I know that's you. Infinite love to the beautiful Empress Emma, 10 toes on deck in the building. Always happy to see you, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming. Yes. Okay. Oh my goodness, the King Stephen. Hey, King Stephen. What's up, King? He says, Queen, peace, love, and blessings this Sunday. What a time to be alive. Looking forward to your divine sermon as usual. Big, big love, big, big energy, big, big light to the King Stephen, one of my absolute favorites. Okay, my brother, salute to you, King. I hope everything is well with you. Hope you had a good weekend, a good previous week. Okay, and I hope everything is in balance for you as you approach your new week. The Village Brother gave me some nines. Yes, you guys, I am feeling that energy. Yes. Did you, Twin? Twin says, I just added magnanimous to my vocabulary. Twin is so silly. Oh my goodness, hold up. my number one comrade, ladies and gentlemen, not the number two, not the number three, not the number seven, but the number one comrade of mine is in the building. Infinite blessings and big salute to the king and the coach, Hudson, aka Coach of the Truth Tellers. Yes, I get excited every time I see you, King. I gotta give you that, that heat, that fire, that good vibration to you. Wonderful to see you, King. Right? What does he say? He says, salute to the queen of boxing media, my number one comrade, the beautiful SugarFreeMars, and peace to the chat. Thank you so much, King. As I was reading that, I was hearing your voice. I was hearing that soulful voice that you have actually telling me that as I was reading that. Infinite blessings to you, King. I hope everything is well with you. Okay. Lovely to see you. I got my family on deck, so I'm feeling ready to go, you guys. Right. So, of course, I'll shout out, anyone else as, you guys make your way in or whatever have you, but we can get to cooking. Right. Now, you guys, this particular topic is very interesting for me on myriad levels, right? On an assortment of levels. And I will try my best to get out, I guess, all of the concepts that came to mind upon me. Just looking at the fight yesterday, the fight with Alycia and Do Re Mi, and and just engaging with. Let me take a sip really quick, you guys. Hold on. And I will try not to smack on this peppermint that I'm enjoying. No smacking sounds, you guys. Anyway, let me. Twin, oh my God, look at Twin already on it. Look at him. He says, make sure the peppermint's in the water. It's so funny. Am I that predictable? I guess I am, Twin. You already know how I'm stepping. Got to have my water and a peppermint, AKA or / cinnamon on deck. If it's not cinnamon, it's peppermint. If it's not peppermint, it's cinnamon. All right. Y'all know how I'm stepping. That's so wild that you guys know these little habits of mine. That's so cute. Oh, salute to the King NBA in the building. Blessings to the King NBA D Nice. Big stepping as per usual. Ain't nothing new when NBA D Nice is up in here. Okay. Infinite love to you, King. Right? Thank you so much. Gratitude to you for joining this Sunday. I always appreciate you. Okay. So with this whole, fight, that happened and the lead up to the fight and the everything else, it's just, a lot of things came to mind, good family. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna hold you. And one of the questions for me is precisely, what I had named. Salute to the King, Ron Ya in the building. I just looked over and saw you pop up. Salute to the King, Ron Ya. Blessings to you. And thank you for joining. I appreciate you very much. Hope you're well. So one of the premier questions that came to my mind was indeed, hold up, let me put my charger in so I won't have to worry about it later. Hold on. There we go. One of the questions that, was absolutely paramount was the one that, of course, I indeed named, today's discourse, right? Are we at the point of placating mediocrity? Like, is that where we have arrived in boxing, good family? Is that where we have arrived over the past 2 years? And I think the question is really rhetorical because a lot of the good family up in here already know the answer to that. And it's not even anything that we have to really ask because we have been seeing it happen, brothers and sisters. Facts or no? Let's just look at the past 5 years, if you will, or so. Hasn't there been such a major, I would really say past 10, real talk, right? But that over the 10-year period, there seems to have been more instances and more examples of people being on smoke time within, let's say, the past 10 years, because of course we had the people like your EJs, right? The big fish himself. We had people like Bud. Okay. We had your Sean Porter still in the building. We had your boy Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? We had, all sorts of people, right? That we, and all sorts of the people who are actually even more, let's say, further along now. But even the people like, let's say, who turned out to be a whole bunch of motherfucking suckers in the end, or I would say in this particular area 10 years later, back then, 10 years ago, we believed in the potential of those people like Purple Pain Davis, aka Red Light Special Davis. Did we not? So that when we was looking at Purple Pain, we were invested in him, let's say 10 years ago, because we believed in the potential. Now that potential rotted itself out, right? That potential recoiled because he took a back seat to his own potentiality, unfortunately, right? He unfortunately put himself in a position to succumb to whatever indeficiencies, rather deficiencies that he had in his personal life. He had succumbed to that, right? Those states of, or the parts of his life that were deficient. He kind of, took a left turn, so to speak, for whatever reason, for example, right? So that 10 years ago, as compared to now, I'm just doing a quick juxtaposition for the good family, is that, we had more smoke, or we had the promise of smoke. Whereas now, if I'm going to keep it a buck, beautiful people, things are very, very glib. Things are glib, brothers and sisters. Things are absolutely bleak out here. I don't know what's going on. But the current terrain, right? The current landscape within boxing as a whole is in a very curious and questionable position, and in a very precarious one. It's definitely in a state of precarity, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that I'm always trying to centralize or hyper focus onto this particular topic, because what do they say? One rotten apple can spoil the bunch. Ain't that how the saying goes? And unfortunately, we have been seeing and noticing the pathway that a lot of people have been taking toward what I would describe as a rotten mentality, a mentality that does not, it's not fecund, okay? It's not in any way fecund. It's not a route of abundance. It's not a route towards fecundity. It's not a route towards prosperity. It's not one that upholds, the longevity of boxing, right? We are seeing something antithetical to that in the way that people are projecting, in the mindsets that we see being, heralded for whatever reason or another, right? And a lot of what I viewed over the past weekend, this here weekend, was a reminder of that, right? And we are always getting reminders of that within this landscape. Unfortunately, that hold true to that idea that there is a need, for whatever reason or another, to coddle and cosset, or in other words, to placate the areas of mediocrity that are so prevalent in the sport right now. And I am really questioning why. Why have we arrived at that particular space where there is a need to cosset the mediocrity instead of push beyond it? That's essentially the question I'm presenting today to the good family, right? Why is there a need to run in and coddle this particular framework, or this mode? What is the modality within this mindset really supporting, right? And what's going on in boxing is another question that I had. What is going on in boxing that has caused some of the top fighters, good people, among the divisions, whatever division that you want to name, that have the premier and that hold the premier fighters, right? The names of note that we know. What is it that has caused these particular top fighters, or so-called top fighters, within these various divisions, to all of a sudden now have assumed that because they have amassed a particular level of, let's say, visibility, championship, ranking, or whatever you want to call that, whatever, etc., that because they have amassed that or acquired that, that this somehow means that they can be omitted from the responsibility of competitorship, brothers and sisters. How the fuck did this get? How was one, denoting of the other? Now, just because you garner a level of visibility or whatever it is that you are doing to attract the attention or to attract whatever level of merit in whatever degree, that somehow means that you can omit yourself from the smoke. I just don't get what got misconstrued about that. I don't know how the two got conflated, in other words, brothers and sisters. Can somebody help me out? Can somebody help me out with that? Because I'm not able to process that mentality or the particular logic that upholds and denotes such a thing. It's the most bizarre thing to me ever, that because you have, assumed a particular position or whatever have you, made a certain amount of money or whatever have you, or carried a certain belt or whatever fuck, anything you want to break down, how the hell does that mean you can extract yourself from the battlefield? Brothers and sisters, the only way that would apply is if you pull a Bud Crawford and retire. That's the only time that would be permissible. Is when you retire, ladies and gentlemen. You retire and then you sit back. You retire and then you say, yes, I have done all I can do. I'll leave my gloves in the center of the ring. I'm not thinking about this person or the next man or the third. I'm going home to recline in my seat with my wife and my babies, or my husband and my babies, and I'm going to do what it is that I want to do on my own goddamn time, because I owe no one anything anymore. That's when you assume such a mentality, brothers and sisters, when you can extract yourself, when you can omit yourself from the general body politic, right? The rigmarole, the demands, the trainings, the having to prove stature. You are no longer within context to that as a retired fighter. But ladies and gentlemen, as we good and goddamn well know, okay, there is no way that any active fighter that has the goddamn goal to say that they are her or to say that they are Himothy, and at the same time say that this or that or this or the third fighter ain't worth a goddamn to them, particularly because that this or that or the third is seen to be a challenge to them. Isn't that a call to run towards that man or woman? It is because you are a challenge. It is because, let's say, I don't think you're a challenge. Let's say the world thinks you're a challenge. Okay, point them out. I want their heads on a plate and brought to me. And I'm going to shut up all of the notions that you think this or that person is supreme in any way comparative to me. Isn't that the spirit that these warriors should be having? Or am I bugging? Why is it always perceived or taken, to mean that because you have this position, like I want to run towards that's somehow problematic of the people that are demanding that of you or looking for you to take that particular mindset on? Why is that an issue? How did that mindset become problematic within today's landscape, brothers and sisters? The mindset of running toward it, the mindset of proving oneself, the mindset of proving why this or that person isn't on your level. You need to prove that. It is not enough to say it. Okay? And this is really the premise of our discussion today. Okay? What is this mindset that is so pervasive now, brothers and sisters? What do you chop it up to in your minds when you look at this particular wave that is going on right now? Or trend, because it is a trend in this era. What is this posture, in other words, brothers and sisters? This haughty, conceited, supercilious disposition within boxing currently that is, seemingly to me, part and parcel of what is keeping us from getting the best fights, the best, most significant fights. That mentality isn't aiding in the materializing of these fights. It's dissuading from them and their importance within the sport, which means that it's outrightly negating and revoking importance from competitorship as a whole when we look at it on the macrocosm level. Is that as a whole, competition is being smited and snubbed. And for what reason? When we are in a competitive combat sport at that. Okay? It's not aiding in us getting these things materialized. We are moving further and further away from the significant, meaningful fights that we call for. This weekend, while I was tuning in, to that fight with Alicia Baumgardner, I'm going to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? I was absolutely appalled and revolted by the things that I heard stated upon her win over goddamn Do Re Mi. All right? Repulsed by the things that I heard. Repulsed by the build-up even. Right? Little things during the build-up of that fight had me like, what the hell is going on here? Do I need to clean my ears out? Do I need to press rewind? Like, what the hell is going on here? What is it that I am hearing? The sentiments that were expressed by Alicia Baumgardner are indeed nothing new, brothers and sisters. We have seen it repeatedly throughout boxing. She's just been, one of the, most current ones on that type of bandwagon, this particular type of wave that I was talking about earlier. Right? She's been on a salty high horse. Let's keep it a buck, y'all. Right? Rocks with the sister. Rocks with the sister. But I do not like what it is that I am seeing. She's been on a salty ass high horse for quite some time now. And particularly now that somebody of her stature has entered the equation, has entered the conversation of not only, being someone of note and championship status, when we are talking about, of course, the Queen Caroline Dubois is who I'm referring to. But more importantly, she got on this salty high horse for a person only one division above her, a fight that is so easy to make, as opposed to the 4 or 5 weight classes away from Claressa at the time, that she ignited the beef with the GWOAT. Only one weight class away from Dubois, so she ain't got to do all that, negotiating. She doesn't have to do all that, trying to balance where are we going to meet. Bitch, I'm one goddamn weight class away. Let's get this popping. We can make this today. This fight can be made today. We ain't got to do all that goddamn guessing and guesstimating and goddamn calculating and subtracting and dividing up in here, girl. One weight class. Easy to do. But suddenly, Miss Baumgardner has created, as it pertains to the Queen Caroline Dubois, an entire iron fence around herself, around her mentality, whenever this woman's name is brought up. This is her iron fence, you guys, to safeguard herself from any potential or shred of smoke with Caroline. She wants no problems with that woman, brothers and sisters. And we're going to speak very plainly on that today. We're going to make it plain, as we have in the past, because I touched on this, before, right? But because the fight is gaining more and more traction and people are being more and more galvanized by this particular matchup with these two ladies, it's imperative that we discuss things plainly. It's important for these types of things to be crystallized, right? This particular, habituation that we see occurring, this reoccurrence, brothers and sisters, within the sport as a whole, as far as the mentality that we see Alycia now associating herself with, this occurrence within the sport is just as mind-numbing as it is abhorrent. And to see her having adopted this mentality concerning Caroline Dubois is repulsive to me. You know what I mean? Because Caroline Dubois is one of the best female fighters out right now, period. She is one of the best active female fighters right now, hands down, and period. Right? Latent with potential, right? Love her fight style. She has everything that, could entertain a crowd, right? Just as Alycia is entertaining, just as Michaela is entertaining, just as Guo, you know what I mean? Caroline Dubois is right up in there. You can't have a conversation about women's boxing, and not, exalt that of the Queen Caroline Dubois. She's definitely up there and of note and stature, and has been steadily climbing there. And I think she's finally arrived at a point of mass visibility in a way that she hadn't had, let's say, a few years ago, right? Now, we can look back on the years, brothers and sisters, just in boxing as a whole, okay? Look back on the years and see that this particular attitude and this posture that has been flooding the language, good people, flooding the language, taking over the parlance, the stance that we see within a majority of the names that we have pedestalized for one degree or another. They have now assumed this posture. That's why I called it a trend. And Alycia has placed herself among that trend. Brothers and sisters, Purple Pain Davis was a chief executive officer of this unjustified, unearned snobbery. He was one of the chief ones, as far as the young fighters within this era, that really took on this particular mindset and started to propel it forward, right? This level of snobbery, because that's really what it comes across as to me, right? Purple Pain Davis cried things like, oh, what has Shakur done for me lately? What did he do for me? Did he warm my bathwater? Did he put roses in the tub for me? Did he put on those silk sheets that I like? Did he woo me over a candlelight dinner? Right? All these stipulations, these sassy ass stipulations saying everything and everything else except let's fight. This is Purple Pain. So that we saw that posture on him. What have you done for me lately? Right? Why do I have to fight him? What he gonna do for me? Right? Crazy work. Meanwhile, Purple Pain's resume is about as valuable as his goddamn arrest record, brothers and sisters. Like, what? What's going on here? But you have the gall to be asking what this or that person has done for you when you got motherfucking Pepe the Mailman on your damn resume and one world champion that you took a strap from in your entire career. This is the absurdity of the mindset, brothers and sisters, is that it seems to me that all the people who have yet to be accredited properly, yet to be crowned properly, even though they may be acclaimed, right? Even though they may have, done pay-per-view numbers or sold out, whatever, blah, 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 but they have not yet proven themselves among the elites around them. This is what's ironic about it, is that it's this cloth of people that are talking the most shit. Like they fought motherfucking Mike Tyson and took down a damn, lion or something. Got the most goddamn mouth out here. However accredited they may be. I want you to get the accreditation of your belts. I want you to sell out, arenas and everything. I have no issue with that. Go ahead and do that. But you must build your resume on the path to doing that. The opponent matters. And for some crazy ass reason, that is being diminished within this current climate, brothers and sisters, that their resume not have weight to it. It's absolutely absurd to me when I sit back and think about it. Now, that's Purple Pain as an example. And of course, we can use E.T. Stevenson any goddamn day of the week. E.T. Stevenson, the man who we stood up for, mind you, brothers and sisters. Didn't we stand up for damn E.T. Stevenson? While Purple Pain was on his damn tirade, incessantly smiting and shunning the possibility of a fight with Shakur Stevenson, incessantly smiting and shunning the possibility of a fight with the young king. Didn't we stand up 10 toes for the likes of E.T. Stevenson when Purple Pain was on that damn rant on his salty ass high horse? Didn't we go to bat for Shakur and say, yo, if anybody is deserving of this fight, you are in the same weight class as him. Of course, the world wants to see him fight the young king, no doubt about it. But at least E.T. Stevenson is in your weight division. Of course, I'm speaking about when they were both at 35, right? We went to bat for E.T. Stevenson, so it is absolutely audacious of him to now put himself in a position where he is, being a diva. He has assumed this crazy, entitled, falsely entitlement, a sense of crazy, outrageous entitlement that E.T. Stevenson has right now. When he was once the person that was saying, yo, let me get the fight. Right? So I guess that somehow now E.T. Stevenson is goddamn vicariously living through Purple Pain Davis because he is finding himself in this particular role now of superciliousness by refusing to fight any of the current champions at 140, brothers and sisters. The man still hasn't uttered the name of a single champion. He has not expressed any shred of interest in unifying with the champions at 140. He fought in what, January? We damn near hitting the end of April, brothers and sisters. Who is this man gunning for? Not an utterance. Not an utterance was made by this man. So that he is now sitting on a throne. This is the mindset at work once again, brothers and sisters. We see him sitting on a throne made of cardboard boxes. But all the while, he's thinking he's sitting on a damn gold mine, on a plot of gold or something like that. Because he has also assumed out of nowhere that he does not have to prove himself among the elite around him. And here we have Mrs. Baumgardner, a fighter who's only ever had one fighter of no real talk on her goddamn resume, just like E.T. Stevenson with the T.O. fight. Baumgardner really had like one person, and that was Michaela Mayer, that she can boast of on her resume. One person. One person. But now she's thinking that she is the queen of Sheba, like she has nothing to prove. Like just because she fought that person, just because she holds undisputed, that she can bypass what the people are calling to see. Because she got one goddamn opponent, and because she has, I don't know how many goddamn times she defended damn undisputed. Ladies and gentlemen, how many times you gonna defend the same shit? Take your ass up. Take your ass up and challenge yourself. You already conquered that mountain. Time to go conquer new goddamn ground. Take your ass up to 35 and go get that business. That's crazy to me. The point is to have the accolade, to attain and achieve it so that you can go on to the next and achieve again. You don't get comfortable looking at your goddamn reflection in the mirror all damn day. Go get it popping. I'm sick of this shit in boxing. And it's disgusting to me that it has bled over into the women's division of the sport. with this fucking chump talk. Take your chump ass up to 35 and get the business working. I don't give a fuck who's up there. You know the soul of the people. We've been calling you to see Caroline Dubois. That's the most talked about thing in women's boxing right now as far as matchups for the women. There's nobody's name's buzzing more than yours. You should take that as a compliment that people want to see you and what you have provided for the sport so far as your talent and your accolades. Yes, you've been standing 10 toes on business. This is why we want to see you go and take it further with somebody else who is equally worthy. It's not a smite to you that this is being demanded. How dare these fighters assume this pompous attitude? It's disgusting, and it needs to be completely eradicated from the sport. Whenever it rears its head, I'm on that ass. I don't give a fuck where it's coming from. It doesn't belong on any man or woman who calls themselves a warrior. Doesn't belong there. Because once you start assuming that type of posture and mentality, you are a coward. You are expressing cowardice to me. And the only way you could remove that stigma off of you is to go pass through the fire. Go be made. Go be made. That's how you get the soul of the people, brothers and sisters. Ain't that why we all here today? The soul of boxing, the soul of warriorship that has kept us so, close to this sport. All the beautiful displays of warriorship we have seen throughout the decades and throughout the century. This is why we avouch so vehemently for boxing. Cowardice, it cannot and has not kept the sport alive. It's always been valor. It's always been warriorship. And it will continue to be that so long as this sport is, alive and kicking at least. The moment we see otherwise is when we will see the degradation and dematerialization of the sport. We will see an absolute disintegration occur within boxing the moment it isn't about ironclad warriorship, ladies and gentlemen. All right? One goddamn fight of worth on Alicia Baumgardner's resume. And now this bitch think that she's the, queen of goddamn Sheba, that she put herself such in a position, because of her acclaim, that she can now, just walk over, scathingly refer to Caroline Dubois as a pup or as a guppy, as she said last night in the post-fight interview. How the child? The logic ain't logicking. I'll just say that. The logic ain't goddamn logicking. Okay? The equation ain't goddamn equating, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? This is the woman that the world is looking for you to fight next. There is nothing that supersedes this as far as her name, like the synonymous dynamic that's going on between her and Caroline right now. This is taking center stage. I mean, of course, it's always going to be working in tandem with Claressa Shields because that's really where the boxing world came to know Baumgardner to the level and degree that we know her now. It is through the beef that she generated with Claressa Shields, right? And so that their name is always kind of hand in hand together, right? And there's still that animosity there between them, right? But definitely spearheading this in the current climate is definitely her name buzzing alongside the young queen, Caroline Dubois. This is beyond a shadow of a doubt the most significant fight for her to make next. And it's also beyond a shadow of a goddamn doubt to me that Alicia Baumgardner is fucking scared to death of the Queen Dubois. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The fucking fanboys that want to, bend that woman over and do all the, I don't give a damn whether you like her, whether you think she's cute. Yes, she's cute. Yes, she can fight. Yes, I like her, right? But you don't want no goddamn smoke with Caroline Dubois. It is what it is. Not talking like that. And nobody can convince me otherwise, fanboy or otherwise. I don't give a damn. She wants no problems with the Queen Caroline. Only way she can prove that to me is to get in the business and get it cracking. Go get it cracking. And you would have earned my respect. right? This cowardly mentality, brothers and sisters, has these fucking chumps, and I'm talking about the fighters, these fucking suckers, because that's what they become when they assume this mentality. I'm not sugarcoating a damn thing. If it's too hot, find the fuck your way out. Chump shit. I didn't fucking stutter. These chumps, these cowards with this mentality, all up and down boxing. You take your goddamn pick. I'm talking about them. This cowardly mentality that these chumps, have assumed, thinking that refraining from the fights that the fans are demanding is somehow the way towards credence and accreditation, brothers and sisters. Make that shit make sense to me, because I can't. They think that the refraining from the fights that we are demanding is the path toward their accreditation and merit. How the hell did the two get conflated? Instead of actually fighting the fights that will give you and bless you and bestow upon you all the merit you could ever goddamn want. These people have, supplanted that with this idea that standing away from it, running away from it, recoiling from it is somehow going to make them, seen as worthy or something like that. What is going on? What is going on? Why the hell do we real ones keep asking this damn question? Why are there so few that don't have us asking this question in boxing, brothers and sisters? It's only a damn handful of fighters that don't have us looking crazy out here. But it seems like majoritively, we're dealing with an absolute epidemic within the sport. The imbecility is astounding. It's the most imbecilic disposition that I see in boxing currently, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot cap. It's ridiculous to me. I'm looking like, are these people motherfucking thinking? Especially people that's running around here talking about, I want the biggest fights now. You hear? Yes, indeed. Make the biggest fights for me. I only want the big fights. I'm that guy. I'm that woman. I'm on the mountaintop of this. Meanwhile, they hauling ass away from the smoke. Hauling ass away from the very fights that would make them. You tell me if I'm tripping. How and why is this being misconstrued to any degree or capacity, brothers and sisters, if we are dealing with intelligible, upright, warrior-clad people? It only would make sense if we are dealing with something that stands antithetically to that, which of course would be absolute cowardice. Cowardice. How is this being adopted? Especially in one of the most fundamentally valor-driven sports in all of sports, all of entertainment. How is this being adopted in one of the most fundamentally aggressive sports? Think about that. Why is this tepid, snobbish, frail mindset within these fighters being cassetted by so many in the boxing world presently, brothers and sisters? What's up with this boxing community as well that is cassetting this? Now, it seems, unfortunately, an ardent task. You know what I mean? It seems an absolute ardent task for these fighters who have taken on and assumed this puss-ass mentality to realize that despite the accomplishments achieved or amassed along their journeys, the obligation, brothers and sisters, the obligation to compete will always remain. You cannot fucking bypass that. You cannot omit that. Doesn't matter what you accomplished or what you intend to. You got to go through the competition. Iron sharpens iron. These motherfucking chumps want to sit down and get damn manicures all day and be crowned. If you're not disgusted by that as a diehard boxing fan, I don't know what to tell you. And then demand of you that you give them praise, that you give them the exaltation. Excuse me? The obligation remains, brothers and sisters. Competing with the highly regarded is a must. It's a must. It's one thing, for example, okay? It's one thing to scrap, amongst a bunch of mediocre, subpar, or lackluster opponents. That's one thing, right? Let's say the mediocre or lackluster opponent has a belt. That's one thing, right? Because they are on your path to becoming unified or undisputed, which should be spoken about more, right? Becoming undisputed. But that's a whole nother damn story, right? But let's say somebody of subpar, whatever, was elevated and now they, became a champion and you have to go through them in order to get the strap. That's one thing, okay? Because things like that tend to happen, okay? A strap is a strap is a strap. Got no problem with that. How you get it is how you get it. You know what I mean? But looking at the competition level in and of itself, brothers and sisters, stay with me, okay? It's one thing to get a strap amongst a bunch of mediocre comp, right? Like I said, despite whether or not they have a belt or not. It's something completely different. It's a completely and entirely different matter when one competes against a name that holds significance and stature and merit and notability, brothers and sisters. Nothing can compare to that. Especially when we, of course, add the straps into the mix and into the conversation. Nothing supersedes that. Nothing in this sport. The name must go hand in hand with the accreditation. It matters, brothers and sisters. What the fuck is up with this era that has the supposition that, something otherwise is the truth? The acquisition of belts is phenomenal. It's good. And I am always in line to see some straps grabbed. Definitely. But what is missing is the idea and understanding in this era, for whatever reason or another, brothers and sisters, is that tantamount to that, ladies and gentlemen, tantamount to the acquiring of belts is the importance of one's resume. Who you fight matters too. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why is this rocket science for some of these people out here to understand, fighters included? Why is this perceived as some type of rocket science that it's just too, it's just too big and too vast for them to wrap their minds around? That the stature of your opponent means everything. And to keep it a buck, brothers and sisters, a name is as good as a strap. Not that we are going to jettison the strap or the concept of the importance of the strap. No, we're not going to jettison that concept. The straps are important. I am saying that tantamount to that, of tantamount importance, are the names that one acquires on their resume. Why are people acting like this is absolutely something that is, well beyond their reasoning? The answer to that, brothers and sisters, is this, as many of you already damn know. Okay? The answer is because this is what occurs when you have people, fighters, totally okay with not proving who they say they are among the elite that stand to challenge them on that notion. That is the answer, brothers and sisters. That's what occurs when you have people on that type of time, unwilling to prove who they claim themselves to be among those that they know will be a challenge or highly touted as challenges. You have very few people in that type of time ready to run to the center of the damn battlefield. We got some warriors out here in this sport, okay? And they have my full support. But the mentality that has been assumed by these cowardly, fickle fucking fighters is disgusting and abhorrent to me on every level. And they think it's cute, which is even more disgusting, to talk the way they talk. To say that this person is a guppy or a pop or what have they done for me? Why you want me to fight this person? On to the next. Don't ask me questions about that. Go take your ass fishing if that's the damn case. Go retire happily and go stick your motherfucking head up somebody's damn ass somewhere, but get the hell out of my goddamn face with that. Why aren't so-called journalists and so-called pundits and commentators checking that shit when it's at the door, brothers and sisters? That's another thing that came to mind and that repeatedly comes to mind. Whenever I see these fighters in front of a camera, whenever I see these fighters hopping on such and such podcast, whenever they are at a post-fight, wherever the hell that they are, with a camera and a mic in their damn faces, these damn so-called commentators ain't fucking checking that shit. They're not asking the questions. They are not saying, well, what have you done to assume such a foolish posture? Have you retired? Are you retiring this year, ma'am, sir, whoever? Why are you talking like this? What is the reason for this particular parlance? Why is it not being checked whenever it rears its head, brothers and sisters? So that instead we are seeing a perpetuation of it. Silence is goddamn compliance, ladies and gentlemen. These people are allowing, placating this ridiculous stance by not addressing it and not speaking plainly and calling it out for what it is. I don't give a fuck who likes what fighter. That is of no consequence to me, brothers and sisters. You can run the gamut on the people that you like. You can run the gamut on the people that you do not like. I don't give a damn. What about this fight, though? What about this fight, though? I care about the fight. I want to see the fight materialize. Don't mean nothing to me if I like what hairstyle you wore today, or if I like your shade of lipstick today for the ladies, or for the dudes if you bought a new car or whatever have you. I don't give a damn. Are you fighting or not? That's the only goddamn thing I care about, right? So that I have fighters that I like. I have fighters that, I really don't. Whatever the hell. That does not matter to me. Because whether I like you or not, I still want to see the best fight the best. Nothing takes precedence over that. My personal preferences are my personal preferences. It has no bearing on the best fights being materialized. Right? That is what I herald. That's why I ask, are we now in the business of, at the point of, placating mediocrity, ladies and gentlemen? Fighters like goddamn E.T. Stevenson get all types of panties all the way in a bunch, okay? Whenever his fans on Twitter or across social media, and whenever, let's say, the boxing community, the conscious boxing spaces, panties all up in a bunch whenever, we bring any shred of accountability forward, for example. Did you guys see him going back and forth with, different fans and making these random ass tweets and, trying to, stroke his own ego and then getting upset? And this man went back and forth even with the King Champ side a couple of weeks back. I'm not sure if you guys, were catching that particular storm. And I was definitely right there in the thick of it, right? Adding my 2 cents into the comments and stuff like that, and of course it was with the King when he did a live, pointing out the folly of this man's disposition and outrageously bogus entitlement, right? This man went back and forth with the King Champ side, y'all, simply because Champ highlighted, and this is how crazy the mindset is. This is how crazy the mindset is. He went back and forth with damn Champ because Champ highlighted and centralized, several key matters, right? As to why or what is the causer of this sense of inhibition that Shakur seems to have about his own supremacy. So that the larger overview was that Champ was not ridiculing or censuring or castigating Shakur Stevenson. Champ side is a huge fan. I've been watching Champ side for nearly a decade, brothers and sisters, literally, right? Coming up on a decade. Real talk. I have never in my life seen Champ side lambaste or censure in any way Shakur Stevenson, in any way Tank Davis, in any way Devin Haney, or any of the people that we highly enjoy, right, or support, or whatever have you. He has his opinions, but opinions are his opinions. It does not dissuade from his overall support of the fighter, especially elite Black fighters. Okay. Yet somehow Shakur Stevenson's panties got all twisted all up this man's ass, simply because he is saying, well, you are inhibiting your own supremacy, your own claim to space as a fighter, as a premier, beautiful young Black fighter. What are you doing? Why are you evading? Why are you bypassing? What is this? Right? And so this was the central theme of Champ side's discussion. Same thing when he put the pressure and the fire on Coleslaw Davis, as my beautiful king calls him. Coleslaw, right? So that these are the questions. These are the questions that we should be asking, right? When we want to see the best out of the fighters that we think are the best. But ladies and gentlemen, we can think the motherfucking space aliens are going to land in our living room to have some motherfucking peppermint tea with us this evening. That don't mean that shit is happening. That's simply what we think. It's time to prove it. Yes, I think you're the best. Go prove it. So that there's a shortcoming with these fighters. You have to take them at level 1. The moment that you demand level 2, level 3, all of a sudden you are seen and taken to be problematic. It's insane that I am telling you to go out and be that which you are proclaiming. What? Make it make sense. So that this was an example of the King Champ side. The BFF brigade that E.T. Stevenson formulated. This impenetrable BFF brigade. That's what I call it now. That whole fucking friendship circle, friends. How many of us? Y'all know how Champ been getting down, lighting a fire under that ass. The BFF brigade is what I call it, right? Champ calling out, and all the real ones and all the conscious community, we are calling things like that out. The fake motherfucking call out of the welterweights from E.T. Stevenson, for example, is another one. He want to fight everybody that ain't in his weight class, and he want to fight everybody whose weight class he ain't gonna go to get the business done in. Excuse me? The deliberate circumventing of elite champions, like I said, at 140. What is going on? This is the mentality, and this is the outcome of the adoption of such a ridiculous, imbecilic mentality. Right? So forth, etc. Okay? Because we can run the gamut on the examples. So that what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, is that the mere expression of, the mere analysis of, and the mere subsequent call for seeing the better fighters fight the better fighters, or, the elite versus the elite, the best fighter, whatever you want to call that, the mere call for it within the fighters that we support, who have now assumed and herald this particular mindset, is being taken as an affront by those who have assumed this cowardly, defensive, weak, frail, diminutive stance that has now unfortunately become a trend in boxing, brothers and sisters. Do you get me? So if there is a larger scope, right? Alycia is just the current, she's the most current thing that has, taken on this particular helmet, this motherfucking foil helmet, because that's what they look like. Motherfuckers that sit with motherfucking foil on their heads, changing the channel all goddamn day. They look foolish as fuck to me. And unfortunately, this beautiful sister has aligned herself with this particular mentality, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I saw the post presser of the sister Baumgardner. And as I posited earlier, my level of revulsion was absolutely through the roof. Through the roof. Got to keep it a buck, brothers and sisters. Okay? I heard nothing as she was talking. I heard nothing but motherfucking duck, duck, quack, quack, duck, duck, chump, chump, sucker. That's all I fucking heard while she was talking. Real rap. Heard it in the goddamn build up. Definitely heard that chump shit in the post presser. This woman, like I said, wants absolutely no smoke. Absolutely nothing to do. Make this make sense. She wants absolutely nothing to do with arguably her most significant fight. Of her career. That part. Okay? What's nothing to do with it? What is up with this supposition that the fight with Miss Dubois is somehow irrelevant? What in this woman's mind has her thinking that? What is the supposition? What has her thinking that it's irrelevant or, inconsequential and some type of menial thing or, some type of trivial task, if you will? What got this woman thinking that? Who fucking told her that? How did she pick that up? If we're going to keep it all the way a buck, brothers and sisters, this is the only fight that she is being demanded to make at this point. There is no other fight. This is the central fight for her. This is what stands at the forefront. This is what's on people's minds. This is what has people galvanized. Oh, Caroline and Baumgardner, Caroline and Alycia. This is at the forefront of women's boxing, ladies and gentlemen. There is no denying that. What has this woman thinking in any way that this is trivial? Can somebody answer that? Except for the fact that she does not want it. So that she is trying to debase her most significant fight to make. Nobody is beating a goddamn door down of Alicia Baumgardner, brothers and sisters, to see her get it popping with Amanda Serrano and Chuck Taylor. Even though those are phenomenal fights, they are definitely two other of her most meaningful fights for sure, as far as her career is concerned. And those two fights with those two women are 1000% and most certainly fights that I want to see her partake in without a doubt. Those are fights I have been calling for years. Okay, for the past 2-3 years, I always had her name, with Chuck and Serrano. Absolutely. But that the Caroline fight has superseded even that in interest as far as the people on the ground level, brothers and sisters. And on the ground level is where the roots are, if you get my drift. Caroline and the interest in the fight with Caroline has superseded that. Not that the two aren't still important and still being demanded and highly anticipated, right? As I said, but that Caroline's position has absolutely and without a doubt taken center stage. Okay? There is no other fight that supersedes the Caroline fight. There is no interest in any other fighter for Alycia than the Queen Dubois, outside of the beef with Claressa Shields, as I posited early in the preface, right? Right? Because that fight was center stage, and it really is still capable of galvanizing the boxing world 1000%, simply because of how intense the heat between them is and has been and remains, right? But the only fight that is buzzworthy outside of that, the only fight that has people galvanized to the core of their souls, the soul of the public, is Caroline Dubois, brothers and sisters. We got to speak to the soul of the public, which I am talking about the roots, which are us, the boxing diehards. There is nothing else of equivalence in interest, period. Period. This fight is what has captured the hearts of the people. That means that this is where the value is, brothers and sisters. I cannot explicate that enough to you. This is where the value is because it is talked about, because it's generating all of this interest and attention to it. This is where she stands to be made. This is where Dubois stands to be made. We want to see them both made. That's the point. Why the fuck is it being taken as a slight? Because we want to see the best be made through each other, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way you can be made, is through each other. As warriors, as elite warriors. This is where Alicia Baumgardner and Dubois stand to earn all of the accreditation that they deserve. It's through each other. And this is most certainly where Baumgardner stands to prove herself as far as all of the motherfucking acclamation she's been making. Shouting on every goddamn mountaintop that she is her and that everybody else is a damn, simp or whatever have you, whatever, hell she wants to call them at the particular moment, right? Here's the chance to prove that. Go ahead and go prove that she's a guppy. Go ahead, go show me that she's a guppy. She's a guppy? She's a pup? Oh, go show me. Go show me. Show me how you put a collar around that and walk her around the block. Show me how you make her sit like a good bitch. That's the type that I'm on. Go make her sit. Go prove it. What's the problem with that? I ain't got no problem with you saying that. Time to do it. Time to do it. Right? But suddenly it's a problem when you get to that part. When you get to the doing part. When you get to the demanding the doing to come into place. That is seen as problematic. You know what I mean? The doorway for Alicia Baumgardner currently, brothers and sisters, is Caroline Dubois, right? Just like the doorway is Serrano, just like the doorway is Chuck Taylor. She got to be made. But for some reason, she thinks that she is already there, which is what is disgusting and revolting to me. You ain't made a goddamn thing. There is no finality until you hang up the gloves. You will always and forever be in a continual state, in a perpetual state of proving and making oneself so long as you are an active fighter. There is no sitting up with your motherfucking fingernails painted up in the air when it's time to get that work popping. And if you don't like that, go retire your little self, to some beach somewhere with your man and go have the time of your damn life. But get your ass out the fucking squared circle. If you're talking that type of talk, because it don't work with me. I don't support that. As much as I have supported and as much as I liked her, I do not like this mindset that she has taken on. And that she is all too alacritous, all too happy and eager to continue toting around. Caroline Dubois is a door that she cannot ignore or bypass in any way, brothers and sisters. None of the smoke is. You shouldn't be talking that way about any fighter who is of note right now. All of them should be on your damn hit list. You should have a target on all of these bitches' backs. You kidding me? Where's the lioness energy? Where's the lioness energy? I'm trying to eat. Line these bitches up. Where's that spirit at? Crazy work to me, you guys. Now, what's crazy as well is that Caroline Dubois has a position and a mindset that is absolutely antithetical to that expressed by Alicia Baumgardner. Caroline Dubois has been calling for every bit, every ounce of that heat and that pressure with this woman, Baumgardner. Brothers and sisters, you cannot find an interview, a conversation, a sit down, a powwow where this woman, Queen Caroline Dubois, ain't calling for that woman's head on a plate. Can't find it. Can't find it. She wants the smoke, brothers and sisters. It is nothing personal. She is a warrior. She is a competitor. And so, of course, she is going to look at whoever is being deemed the best or deeming themselves the best and say, line that bitch up. Absolutely. Nothing personal, baby girl. Nothing personal at all. But I'm going to sharpen you up real good. You're going to walk away with some experience after you get off that battlefield with me. I don't give a damn if I got to go out on my shield. And I'm most certainly aiming to make you have to go out on yours. Either way, I want the business. Line her up. That's motherfucking Caroline Dubois, brothers and sisters. As demure as she is, as sweet as she is, as soft-spoken as she is, as beautiful as she is. All of that shit is, okay, it is what it is. Time to get to the warfare. Warfare. We could talk all that cute shit later. I'm trying to put the beats on you. This is Dubois, brothers and sisters. This is Warrior Heart. Unfortunately, Baumgardner is not on this type of time. I got this pressure. I got the fire on hot for Baumgardner because I want her valor. I want her valor because I support her. I'm saying, baby girl, where you at? Why are you motherfucking ducking and dodging? Why are you goddamn bobbing and weaving this work? Where are you at? Ain't no time to sip no lemonade and put on no damn lip gloss out here. Not when you talking as crazy as you talking. Go ahead and go line her up. Go train that little puppy. Because you got the puppy, so-called puppy, that you think is a puppy, right? But it's really a goddamn whole lion out here, right? But go ahead and go put a collar around her neck. Go tame that, if that's what you think. What's the point of talking about it if you ain't going to do it? Caroline is not on that type of time. Caroline has never once, brothers and sisters, she never once half-stepped in her position or within the claim that this is one of the biggest fights for her. She doesn't downplay, what's his name? She said, yeah, this is one of the biggest fights that could be made. I think I am better than her. I know I can beat her. But she's a hell of a fighter. That's Caroline. All smoke, all competition, nothing personal. But she absolutely knows that this is one of the most gargantuan fights to make within the women's division right now. She knows that. And it's because of that she is alacritous about claiming that fight, materializing that fight. Okay? So that it's absolutely, in other words, brothers and sisters, oxymoronic. Oxymoronic to in any way impose or suggest that this is a matchup that holds no valor or esteem or significance or weight. It's crazy to suggest anything of the such, or, to suggest that there is no value to be gained from it, or all this other nonsensical stuff that she has been positing left and right. This is the most ridiculous statement that anyone can make, that this fight in the women's division has no merit or importance. It's absolutely imbecilic. I would even posit At best, it's imbecilic, because I got a whole nother list of words that I can use that we ain't even gonna go there. Okay? This woman, Baumgardner, made an absolute ass of herself with the words that she was speaking in the aftermath of that fight last evening. Ass of herself, sitting up there on that podium, sitting up there in that mic while she was still in the ring, sitting up there, even up during the buildups and all of this stuff, for the past few months, talking the talk that she's been talking. You know what I mean? Girl had the goal to still be talking all types of trash, and she was getting, touched up by Do Re Mi. Facts or no? The second half of that fight, Baumgardner was getting touched up, mollywopped by Do Re Mi, brothers and sisters. Do Re Mi had that girl dazed and befuddled like a motherfucker in the second half of that damn fight, brothers and sisters. Okay? Mollywopped that woman several times, all throughout the second half of the fight. Alicia had her damn hands down. Do Re Mi was going to work. Mollywopping that girl all upside her damn head. What? And this is how you talking? This is how you talking? Do Re Mi fought like a ghetto bitch last night, ladies and gentlemen. Do Re Mi in that second half, something clicked on. She says, nah, bitch, you ain't gonna catch me out here slipping. Do Re Mi fought like a hood girl in the second half of that fight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I don't know what those speaking of, those judges, I have no idea what those judges were scoring with that bogus and outrageous, card, finality that they came up with their score points or whatever. What was it, 98, 91, or 92 or some shit like that? What the hell were they looking at? Because yes, I would say that, I'm not in argument that Alycia got her victory for sure, right? But that motherfucking second half, she was being worked on something crazy by Do Re Mi, brothers and sisters. Okay? I would say for the entirety of the second half, was Do Re Mi dominant. Alicia didn't dominate that second half to me. She damn sure as hell didn't look anywhere near like what she did in the first half of that fight, brothers and sisters, right? And at the end of that fight, I wouldn't have been surprised to see, at least one of the judges score it a draw, right? But it is what it is. She got her dub, as she should have, as I was expecting her to, right? But then I was definitely surprised to see the outcome of that second half of Do Re Mi out here getting it popping like somebody's ratchet ass auntie. Okay, now I wanted to show you this, good people. I got some videos for you to engage with, because I usually like do the quotes for you, but I'm like, oh, let me, and I'm trying to get better with using my StreamYard or whatever. So I wanted to play some clips for the good people. Now I wanted to play this one, which is interesting because this is, I just wanted to give you a roundabout for those of the good family who may not have come across these particular clips, or who have been, let's say, following on Twitter, where a lot of the action is and stuff like that. I wanted to bring to you, some footage so that you could hear from Alycia or yourself. You know what I mean? So check out this first clip and just listen to her disposition, the disposition that's expressed as it pertains to Dubois. Okay? So this is the first.
As a champion, she mentioned plenty of times.
Hold on, let me rewind this for you. Can you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? Let me know we're good to go. Did you guys hear the audio of that when it played just now? I'll wait for the okay. It should be good. Yes, King Stephen, fair use. I just wanted to share this clip for educational purposes, as the King Stephen says on his channel. Yeah. Okay. So the good family can hear it. Okay, good. So let's engage with some of the points and some of the statements and some of the sentiments that were expressed. Let's engage with this, ladies and gentlemen, because I really want you to hear. I really want you to hear what she is saying, and that you will understand the concept of today's discussion. Okay, you will hear, it rounded out my concept of this mentality that is finding itself to be so pervasive within the sport right now, right? This avoiding of this, and look how pompous the position is as well. That in avoiding the fights, the most demanded fight for her currently, She is thinking that in avoiding it, in bypassing or circumventing it, that she is on a high horse. I don't know if she's too imbecilic to understand that it is because there is a demand for it, that it is via this fight and fights like this of this stature that one makes themselves, not by avoiding it. You get to it in order to have the level of pompous, attitude that she has now. You would have thought that she fought, Chuck, Caroline, Serrano, and goddamn Mike Tyson the way this bitch is talking in these interviews. But I digress. Here we go, brothers and sisters.
I think Caroline on her end needs to continue to build who she is as a champion. She mentioned plenty of times becoming undisputed.
Let me run that back. Did you hear what she said? Let me run it back. Just that first part.
I think Caroline on her end needs to continue to build who she is as a champion.
I think Caroline needs to continue to build who she is as a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, if that's not oxymoronic, I don't know what is. It would be different, ladies and gentlemen, if she was saying that because of the fact that, let's say, for example, Caroline did not have a belt, right? That mentality would make sense, because in building one's stature, in building and developing one's esteem, acquiring a belt would be a part of that, no? If she did not have a belt. But how the fuck do you build yourself as a champion, brothers and sisters? The woman has a belt, and not only does she have a belt, she is a unified champion in her division, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck is she talking about? Build up. You are talking about a unified champion. Let's continue.
She mentioned plenty of times becoming undisputed at 135, while I'm still at 130 defending my world titles. When we talk about building a fight, when we talk about what it is to entertain.
So now she's talking about the pursuit that Caroline has of becoming undisputed, at 35 at some point, right? And she is using that as a matter of dissuading from the fact that there is pressure being applied to her fighting Caroline Dubois. Caroline can very well still be on a path to her undisputed goals, right? At whatever particular time. We don't have a timeline on when she wants to get that done. And her fighting you doesn't dissuade from that in any way, shape, or form, right? Fight can be made nonetheless. She's a 2-belt unified champion. 2 more straps to go in her division does not mean that you get to safely tuck yourself away from the heat that she got for you. You can still get it popping. Her goals are her goals. That ass whooping is that ass whooping that she wants to give you. Where's your ass whooping that you want to give to her with all of this pup talk, with all of this little girl talk? I digress. We'll continue.
Those fights need to be worked on, and she needs to put some more skin in the game.
Those fights need to be worked on, is what she said. Is she talking about the fight needing to be built between her and Caroline, or is she talking about those fights, the other fights she needs to go worry instead and give her attention to something else? Go worry about 135. Are you telling her to move on because what? You have no interest in fighting her, so that she is better off occupying her time with the amassing of the other belts and entertaining herself with the other champions where she's at, because you have no interest in fighting her.
To put some more skin in the game, as I mentioned.
Put some more skin in the game. Here is another fucking cop-out. put some more skin in the game, as if she is talking to somebody who just had her first fight yesterday, as if she is talking to somebody who is not a unified champion, WBA and WBO. Skin in the game.
I've done my part. I've shown plenty of times that I put on great shows.
I've done my part, brothers and sisters. What does that mean? I've done my part. So that she is digressing. Absolutely digressing. Right? I've done my part. On my side, I did what I had to do. So then I don't have to fight her, because she is on a high horse in her mind that what she has done and accomplished thus far allows her to omit herself from the idea of competition with the elites around her. I've done my part. Therefore, I do not have to challenge myself amongst the likes of somebody like Dubois. I don't have to go up one singular weight class to go meet the woman who my name is in constant rotation with. I've done my part. Do you see this? Do you see this complacency and the entitlement? Nothing more has to be asked of me. It's what this posture is denoting, brothers and sisters. I don't have anything else to prove. Do you hear what I'm talking about? You would have thought this woman fought Ali himself and is ready to retire with this type of language. How is this conducive of the mindset of an active fighter? This type of talk comes along when you have retired, ladies and gentlemen. I've done my part. I done did what I could do. I done came so far. I done seen the mountaintop. That's when you talk like that. You don't talk like that when you got all these other women around you. You ain't put none of them to bed. In and around your division. What are we talking about? You've done your part. I put on shows. I put on great shows. On undercards, you mean? Because you were on the undercard of the bitches that you should be actually in the ring with. Katie Taylor and Serrano. You were on their undercard. What great shows did you put on? Was it the one where she was motherfucking fighting on somebody's goddamn private event in the back of a Target? In the back of the goddamn Walmart? Those, about a year and a half or so ago? Where the goddamn promoter looked like a whole car salesman? He was selling cars. He was promoting the fight and giving a sermon all at the same goddamn presser. Is that the great shows that she put on? I hate to, what I'm saying? It is what it is. We got to speak the facts. What great shows? Because baby girl is still building and developing her name, real talk, even though she has gotten more visibility over the past, what's his name, year and a half, particularly 2 years. Okay? So that she is herself still building, but somehow she thinks that she is fucking Madonna or Janet Jackson or fucking Prince out here. How? Yes, you are undisputed. Yes, you are acclaimed. Absolutely. Yes, you are a good fighter. I would love to see, where she goes and develops, so long as that she has the spirit, warrior heart behind her, so long as she has the spirit of that warrior heart, I will definitely be interested and invested in that. But what the fuck is there to support with this type of language, brothers and sisters, is the question. Let's continue.
And I became undisputed. I put the work.
I became undisputed. So that do you see the language of omission, brothers and sisters? Do you see the language of omission, brothers and sisters? I've done my part. I put on the quote unquote best shows. I became undisputed. So that because in her mind, these things have been acclaimed and amassed, she does not have to go on to prove her stature and valor. She can sit comfortably talking about it. Oh, because I became undisputed in this particular division. Do you understand? Let's continue.
And now she needs to do the same and then call me out.
So now there's a stipulation that she became undisputed, so that now she is tasking Caroline Dubois with becoming undisputed. That's a stipulatory remark. Did you hear that? Let's take it back.
Put the work in, and now she needs to do the same. And
I put the work in, and now she needs to do the same. So go ahead and go embark on undisputed is the task at hand. You got to be undisputed for me to fight you. Was fucking do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do goddamn undisputed? Ladies and gentlemen, somebody answer that for me. Was do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do undisputed? Was she ever a unified champion? Somebody answer this for me. The bitch she fought in the back of the goddamn Target in the parking lot. Was she undisputed or a unified champion? Do you hear how ridiculous this is, ladies and gentlemen? There are no stipulatory demands given for Do, Re, Mi or anyone else. But for Caroline Dubois, she needs to go ahead and go attain undisputed. I became undisputed. Now she needs to go and do the same. Why? Because Caroline is her. Caroline is her. She does not want an equal challenge. She wants to stand out. She does not want someone of note, tantamount to her own credibility. She wants to stand out. Okay? No challenge for herself. That's all that says to me. Let's continue.
Then call me out, but put on great shows, and I became undisputed. I put the work in, and now she needs to do the same and then call me out.
And then call me. You hear that? Let's continue.
I think I just mentioned, or I think I just heard she wants to move to 147. So I think she's really ducking me.
Oh, how cute. How cute. So now Dubois wants to move to 147 to duck her. The same Caroline that is telling the world that the biggest fight to make in women's boxing is herself against Baumgardner. So now she is positing that at some point, Caroline had insinuated that she wants to go to 147 and therefore is ducking her. But Caroline is not the one with all the fucking excuses as to why the fight cannot happen. Caroline is not saying, oh, you have to go be undisputed 2 times for me to fight you. She's not making these demands. She's saying, let's get it popping. You're one of the best. I'm definitely one of the best. Let's get that work in. There are no excuses being made, no alibis being given, no excuses whatsoever. But she wants you to believe now that Caroline is evading the smoke.
Just mentioned, or I think I just heard she wants to move to 147. So I think she's really ducking me at this point. So we'll just have to see.
That was that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's get into another one. So I just wanted to set the table with that first one, so that what we are going to get into next is another one of the same sentiment, the same evasive sentiment, the same diminishing attitude and position where she is diminishing the fight. She wants to diminish the stature of the Queen Dubois, right? She is talking, or she is saying everything except I want to make the fight. Let's make the fight. She doesn't want to give credence to this fight. It's a need to shorthand the fight, to dissuade from its importance and its value. Let's check this next one.
Listen here, listen closely. When they're on the internet talking, majority decision when it came to Dubois. In 3 minutes, unanimous when it came to Alicia Baumgardner.
So this is, of course, taken from last night, where she is saying that Dubois had a majority decision against Do Re Mi last year. Okay. And of course, Dubois packed up Do Re Mi, but she is saying that one of the, it was ruled a split decision. And she's saying that, well, my performance was a unanimous decision. So this is where she's drawing the comparison now. This is how she's getting on her high horse, because she got mollywopped, and she knows she got absolutely mollywopped by Do Re Mi, right? In the ending half of the fight, the second half of the fight, she needs to draw a distinction somehow, because she knows that all that shit that she was popping about Caroline in her previous fight with one of her previous opponents, talking all that trash, that now when it came to her own performance last night, she looked hella subpar compared to that of all of the talking that she was doing. And so now she has to make herself feel good. She has to coddle and corset herself by saying, oh, well, at least I had a UD, where Caroline had a split decision. Brothers and sisters, that split decision came by way of a Korean judge. The scorecard who had ruled that and ultimately had that go in that favor, it was a Korean judge, right? And we know both Do Re Mi is Korean, and of course, as we know, this is of no consequence, but Alycia is, I believe, half Korean, right? But yeah, the Korean judge ruled in favor of the Korean fighter, which was Do Re Mi, right? When it came to Dubois and her fight with Do Re Mi last year. So this is where she is drawing the line. Well, I'm better than Caroline, right? Because I had a UD. It's petty, but let's continue.
Two different people. I separated that majority decision. Now listen here, listen closely. When they're on the internet talking, majority decision when it came to Dubois. In 3 minutes.
Majority, my bad, I said split. Majority.
It's unanimous when it came to Alicia Baumgardner. Two different levels. So when we talk about, common opponents, I'm different and I'm her. And Bo.
Common opponents, I'm different, I'm her. Did anybody in here find it to be that she set herself apart last night with that performance? Did she stamp the I'm her flag last night with that performance, brothers and sisters? Be honest. If you think she did, you think she did. If you didn't, you didn't. Was that performance last night with Baumgardner and Do Re Mi, did she set herself apart? Was there distinction within that performance? You tell me.
Levels. So when we talk about, common opponents, I'm different and I'm her. And Bo, we need to put her in more fights. She's awesome, man.
Oh, so now we need to put Bo in more fights. Why? Because she mollywopped your ass for the entire second half of that fight? Yeah, that part. Meanwhile, you calling the Queen Caroline Dubois a pup while you eating a pup's leftovers and getting mollywopped by them at that. Continue.
To Dubois. In 3 minutes, unanimous when it came to Alicia Baumgardner. Two different levels. So when we talk about, common opponents, I'm different and I'm her. And Bo, we need to put her in more fights. She's awesome, man. It was a great fight. It is annoying, and I will explain why. When we talk about Alicia Baumgardner and her career and her trajectory on where she is going, we have to align her with the biggest fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, Exhibit A of the pompous, ridiculously bogus, outrageous entitlement and self-delusion that we find within boxing, getting into our earlier conversation, that's rampant, is that there is this association, there is this invisible umbrella that they use. It's an umbrella term that they cloak over everything, which is the big fights, as I had mentioned earlier. Big fights this, big fights that. But they are not necessarily quote unquote big fights that they are after. How the fuck can this woman sit up here and say big fights when she just fought in the back of a goddamn Target? Who the hell did she fight on the damn undercard of the Serrano Chuck Taylor thing. Do you guys remember the opponent that she fought? Can you guys put the name in the chat? I mean, just off top. Do you know the opponent that she fought on the Serrano Taylor card? Can anybody tell me what the last opponent was? Okay. What is this big fights that she only is associating herself with? Who is a bigger fight other than the one the people are demanding to see? Only other big fights that this woman can make are the likes of the Katie and Chuck and Caroline. Those are her big fights, but she has an incessant need to diminish the stature of Caroline because she does not want the smoke with that woman. That's why it is an imperative for her to diminish the stature and credence of Caroline, brothers and sisters. You need to understand that. I must diminish you. I must say that you have no value. You bring nothing to the table. You are too small, too young, too this, too that. Because words have meaning and words have power behind them, brothers and sisters. If I say this enough, maybe the people won't be asking for this. Maybe they will stop asking me about Caroline every goddamn 2 seconds. She wants to convince the onlookers that the Queen Dubois is of no merit or consequence, which is absolutely the furthest thing from the truth.
It was a great fight. It is annoying, and I will explain why. When we talk about Alicia Baumgardner and her career and her trajectory on where she is going, we have to align her with the biggest fights. You know, I'm at a stage where I'm at the biggest fights.
I'm at a stage where I'm at what was her biggest fights? Besides the one that I mentioned, Michaela Mayer. That is her biggest fight to date. Even bigger than that, I have no doubt, would be Caroline Dubois. And of course, her big money fights probably be closer to Serrano, Katie Taylor, whatever, because they are, you know, further along in their accomplishments, right? But that Caroline is absolutely and without a doubt within that conversation. What the fuck does she mean? I am at the biggest fights. So was everybody lined up around the goddamn block and back to see you fight Do Re Mi? Because if it didn't mean shit that Miss Dubois fought Do Re Mi and she's a pup, how the fuck do you look? Now, it's not to say that you know, they can't fight each other's past opponents. This is boxing, right? This is boxing. Everybody should be fighting each other. So that it's not a slight to that. I'm talking about her disposition, ladies and gentlemen. She wants to call Caroline a pup, a guppy, a little girl. But fight the opponents that she fought and look mediocre next to them. It would be nothing if she didn't say all of the bullshit that she's been saying. It would just be like, okay, we just anticipating a fight. But it's because that she is speaking so outrageously pompous that this brings the magnifying glass closer to her and the fire under that ass. That's why we got the magnifying glass so close in, honed in. Because as I said earlier, she's making an ass of herself by assuming this particular posture and disposition. Makes no sense. If you this big, whatever the fuck she's supposed to be. And Dubois is this little menial nothing, as she's trying to suppose.
Career and her trajectory on where she is going, we have to align her with the biggest fights. You know, I'm at a stage where I'm at the biggest fights. Dubois is a great fighter, yes, but she's not nowhere near where I am. Like, take a seat.
Was Do Re Mi? Was Do Re Mi near to what she was? But not the woman who beat the bitch, whose scraps you picked up last night. Do Re Mi is bigger than the woman who put her under the ground and who you dug up and put back in the ground. Do you get me? Logic ain't logicking.
Put some skin in the game, like I've been saying.
Here we go. Here we go with skin in the goddamn game, ladies and gentlemen. Everything to diminish this woman so that she don't have to fight her.
Stage where I'm at the biggest fights. Dubois is a great fighter, yes, but she's not nowhere near where I am. Like, take a seat, put some skin in the game, like I've been saying. It's a respect thing. This game is a respect thing. You just don't get a fight by calling somebody else out.
You don't get it's a respect thing. You don't get a fight just by calling somebody else out. What did Do Re Mi do? How the hell did Do Re Mi get a shot at undisputed?
A respect thing. This game is a respect thing. You just don't get a fight by calling somebody else out. You got to put the work in. And again, like I stated, I'm with the biggest fights. I am a prize fighter, not a charity fighter. Next question.
Ooh. And do you hear the fucking ass licking that's going on there? Ooh, in the crowd. Ooh. She's not a charity fighter, y'all. Remember when I asked you why is nobody checking this? It'll be one thing to woo because, you know what I'm saying, she talking her shit. I never got a problem with a fighter, you know, getting, you know what I mean, getting their shit off. You know what I mean? I like things spicy and fiery like that. When you on demon time though, not on evasion time, because the shit it has no takeoff power whatsoever. It remains flat on the ground. It only takes off when you have the will and when you make the imposition to impose that will. Ooh, nobody said, oh, ooh, okay, that's cool and stuff like that. But you know, Caroline Dubois is absolutely, you know, being made synonymous with your name right now. And she's definitely a unified champion within her division. So we can't diminish anything of her accreditation and merit within the sport. She's definitely a prominent name, you know, within women's boxing. So how is she any less significant of an opponent for you? Considering the fact that your opponent that you faced a few seconds ago was absolutely demolished by Caroline Dubois a year ago. Where are these types of questions? Like, let's get the pot stirring. You know what I mean? Where's the intelligence? Where's the intelligence? None being had. They just sit up there and let this woman, you know, stare at her own goddamn reflection for hours in an absolute state of delusion and thinking that this is okay. Oh, because she said something. Oh, well, this is going to be nice for the gram. This is going to be nice to clip up into a little clickbait for Instagram or YouTube short or something like that. Ooh, look what she said. I don't do charity now. A lot of sass going on, but no fucking action. Go show me that she's charity. Go show me that she's a pup. Where's her collar at? Do you get me, brothers and sisters? Absolutely revolting. Now, I wanted to get into this because this is right when she was in the ring prior to the previous clip that I just showed. This is when she's still in the ring. What she says here is absolutely diabolical.
You expected her to be?
Not at all. I knew she was tough. She's a Korean woman, baby.
Were there moments in that fight when you were thinking?
So she's bigging up Do Re Mi as a fellow Korean.
I'm wondering off the top, was she tougher than you expected her to be?
Not at all. I knew she was tough. She's a Korean woman, baby.
Were there moments in that fight when you were thinking to yourself, what more do I have to throw at this lady to get her out?
Listen, all I knew is I had to be consistent with using my jab and setting things up. Bo was going to come regardless, so it was up to me to set the pace and set my shots.
Are you happy with your performance?
I am. Fuck, I made it here. Listen, 3 minutes, 10 rounds on my period. Baby, stop playing with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you hear this, brothers and sisters? Are you happy with your performance? Is what the goddamn announcer asked, right? Because obviously anybody with cognizance would see that this woman was getting all types of mollywopped in that second half of that fight. That's why she want to say, oh yeah, she's tough. She's Korean. Yeah. The mollywopping. It's the effect of the mollywopping that she got, right? But So the guy's asking, are you happy with this performance now? Because baby girl, you know what I mean? We saw you, you know what I mean? Getting all types of flustered, you know what I'm saying? And her answer and response as a way to cop out is that she is on her cycle. I mean, brothers and sisters, I have never once in my boxing life heard a female warrior, any of the female warriors that have been beloved to me throughout the years, ever, fresh out of a war, use the excuse of their cycle as a means to provide an out for their performance. Of course, you're going to be on your cycle in a fight, ma'am. You have a cycle. You are a woman. How many times has that happened throughout this woman's career? Who cares? You decided to be a goddamn fighter. I want to hear nothing about no damn cycle. But because she knows that there are too many moments within that fight that look subpar, amateur, as the quote Claressa Shields says, which I will play as well, her words on what she had to say in response to the performance that she saw from Baumgardner. Never have I heard a certified real one get into that ring or in any capacity, any platform, and use the cycle as a goddamn excuse. What? This is absolutely insane. You know what you do. You chose this goddamn profession. Period or no goddamn period. You chose this. I was on my cycle, so when I was getting mollywopped, I was having a little cramp here or two. Or I'm on my first day, so my period is pretty heavy today. Girl, get the fucking stepping. Get the goddamn stepping. I was absolutely astounded when I heard this, ladies and gentlemen. I've never heard any of my female warriors ever say anything like that. Ever. Never heard Ann Wolf after a battle get up into a mic and talk about, child, yeah, that was difficult. I couldn't really do the footwork, because my cycle was on. What? Let's continue with the inanity.
I come regardless, so it was up to me to set the pace and set my shots.
Are you happy with your performance?
I am. Fuck, I made it here. Listen, 3 minutes, 10 rounds on my period, baby, stop playing.
Hold up. And also, brothers and sisters, how fucking uncouth just outrightly was that? I just found that to be so uncouth and so tactless. Nobody needs to know that. Why was that even shared? Nobody needs to know that, baby girl. Just on a tact level, I'm speaking about now. That was so tactless to me. Nobody needs to know that but you and your people, right? The public does not need to know that. That was low-key fucking raunchy to me. Like, what are you doing? Here again, thinking it's cute. Oh yeah, because I'm on the my cycle was here, my period is what? How is that enacting any level of, let alone sportsmanship, but just downright class? Don't you got some class about yourself, man? That's not nobody's goddamn business. In a profession that you chose? That's like me at a motherfucking business meeting. I'm sitting at a round table and they're like, hey, Sugar Free, your presentation was good today, but I think you missed a slide. And instead of taking accountability for missing a slide, leaving out a slide that I was giving in a presentation, I say, child, listen, all the board members, all the trustees and investors, excuse me, you guys, I'm glad that you enjoyed or whatever. I did the best that I could, but yeah, my period is on. Excuse me? What is going on? In what professional environment is this acceptable within, brothers and sisters? It was absolutely tactless to me. Absolutely tactless. Let's continue.
With me.
Thank you for that. How are you feeling with the 3 rounds now, the 3-minute rounds? How are you feeling out there? Are you feeling comfortable with it?
I'm feeling comfortable. Listen, it's an adjustment every time. 3 minutes is a long time. I think it suits my style. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I don't know everything, and I'm okay.
Oh, she's still, oh, how convenient. So if she's still learning and she's still growing, but we're not going to refer to her as a pup or in a position of development. But you're still learning and you're still growing. Really? But nobody else is allowed to do that in your mind. They have to be on some type of, pedestal or something that is agreeable and acceptable to you. But you're still learning and still growing and still developing. Interesting.
With that, you just go back and you keep getting better.
One of the narratives, as you know, going into this fight was, can you get the stoppage? Can you make it an emphatic victory? It looked early on like you were going to be able to do that. Are you disappointed you weren't able to put her away?
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm just happy that I was able, again, to be back in the ring. 3 minutes, put my punches together, look good doing it.
Oh, so she's not mad that she wasn't able to put her away, right? But she wanted to get on Dubois' ass because she didn't necessarily knock out I forget that woman's name. I'm seeing her face in my head, but the opponent that Caroline just fought, her previous opponent, right? Oh, I put her down in 4 rounds, is what she told Caroline Dubois. I put that girl down in 4 rounds. You couldn't do it. Lambasted her for not having a knockout victory over that woman, even though she definitely scored a knockdown in that particular fight, right? But all of a sudden now, the announcer says, "Oh, are you satisfied with the fact that you didn't to put this woman out? You ain't get no knockout?" Oh, no, no, I'm not disappointed that I didn't. Oh, really? How convenient. How convenient when it's you that you didn't get a knockout victory.
And to be back in the ring, 3 minutes, put my punches together, look good doing it. You're not always going to get the stoppage, but I show levels to my boxing game, and that's important too.
All right, so as you know,
except when it applies to Caroline Dubois. When she was showing her boxing skills, it was of no consequence. Oh, you didn't get the knockout. You didn't get the knockout. You didn't get the knockout. Do you understand what's going on here? The dichotomy that I am presenting here, what's presented within this woman's words, the cowardice of her actions, and juxtaposing that alongside the pompous stance and the sentiments that she has been expressing. Yeah, let's continue.
There's a lot of people talking about you. A lot of people want to fight you. Who do you want to fight next? Tell us right here and now.
But first, I have to thank my Lord Jesus, Savior Christ. That's why I'm here, for one. 2, I want to send special love to Shadeja. Life gets tough, but baby, we keep bouncing back. So much love to her. And going back to who I want to fight, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, what's up?
Okay, now this part I liked. That's the only part that I liked was that she called them out. This is probably the first time I heard her call them out, because any other time she'd be all up under Serrano's ass on some BFF stuff. Not BFF like as far as or extreme as E.T. Stevenson with Coleslaw Davis or anything like that. But she been, hugged up with Serrano when it came to lambasting and censuring Claressa Shields. They kind of formed that tag team, whatever. But I'm glad that she was on Smoke Time, because I want to see her fight Serrano. I want to see her fight Katie Taylor. So I'm glad that she got the gusto and the wherewithal to actually and officially call them out. This is the first, platform where I really heard her say that. Whereas before it was kind of like up in the air, like, oh yeah, I would like to fight those girls, but she never like made a claim to it. So I was definitely happy that she finally made an official call out here. Let's continue.
Any message to Caroline Dubois? That's the one that a lot of fans want to see you fight.
Any message to Caroline Dubois? Notice how he emphasized that's the fight that the people want to see. Notice how he made that. Notice how he highlighted that. I'll let him reiterate. Let me take this back.
Alycia, you know, life gets tough, but baby, we keep bouncing back. So much love to her. And going back to who I want to fight, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, what's up?
Any message to Caroline Dubois? That's the one that a lot of fans want to see you fight.
I need you to understand the significance of that, brothers and sisters, because this announcer made it a point to bring center stage, right? While all the world is watching, all of the audience is watching, and whoever is tuning in within the boxing community that is watching, whether there or tuning in, he centralized and highlighted the significance of the fight with Caroline Dubois, which is all I've been talking about this entire time, was her centralization, her prominence, and the significance of this fight according to the people. This announcer did just that. He brought it to her. He did not allow any diminishment to happen. He put the credence, he put the stamp on and said, this is the fight that the fans want to see. Listen to this woman's response, brothers and sisters. Diabolical.
Like I said, I'm a piranha. That's a guppy. Get her out of here.
I'm gonna run it back because the shit is so motherfucking disgraceful that I need to run it back. I need to run it back so that it could resonate. Here we go.
Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, what's up?
Any message to Caroline Dubois? That's the one that a lot of fans want to see you fight.
Like I said, I'm a piranha. That's a guppy. Get her out of here.
Jake?
This is her response to the fight that the people want to see. The people. There's so many layers to unpack here, brothers and sisters. First of all, when we talk about the people, like I said, we are talking about the roots of it all. There is no sustenance of boxing without the roots. The roots are the people, the soul of the people. Do you understand? So what she is essentially saying in response to this man, bringing forward the fact that this has galvanized the core of the boxing world, which is the fan base. Her response to that, the importance of having the soul invested. She is blessed to even have the public invested in any fucking fight of hers. So that there is a support system behind this. There is fire. There is traction from the people. The people are, no matter what side they're on, whether they're with the Queen Dubois or the Queen Baumgardner, they are invested, brothers and sisters. He put that to the forefront. This is the fight that they want to see. What do you have to say to Caroline? Because this is who they are calling for. This woman says she's a guppy. Get her out of here. Not get her in here. Get her out of here. Meaning exit the conversation. She's not worthy. I don't want to fight her. I don't want to see her. What is Ms. Baumgardner essentially saying to the people then? The people, you know, the ones with our hearts burning to see some wonderful competition, some wonderful warriorship, two beautiful Black sisters attaining excellence among and within and through each other in battle. What is she saying to us? The ones who actually are invested and have an interest in this fight's materialization. What is her saying? Get her out of here. She's nothing. What is that saying to us, the people who actually have validated this fight? She's saying, fuck y'all. That's the answer. Who cares about the soul of the boxing public? Who cares about the people that are spending their money, who are creating content, who are showing up, who are buying merch, who are A-side this or A-side the other, giving me support, keeping me relevant, etc., and so forth? F them. The soul and the heart of the people means nothing to me. That boxing public means nothing to me. I don't want to fight her. I don't want to challenge myself and prove myself. You heard her. Oh, I did my part in the other clip. Absolutely revolting. That's why I said it was absolutely abhorrent watching this last evening. It fucking turned my stomach. No cap. One more again for the bitches in the back.
So much love to her. And going back to who I want to fight, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, what's up?
Any message to Caroline Dubois? That's the one that a lot of fans want to see you fight.
Like I said, I'm a piranha. That's a guppy. Get her out of here.
Jake?
Diabolical work, brothers and sisters. And it's crazy also that the mentioning of two juggernauts, right? Like Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano within the female boxing landscape. How those two names were not equated with being resonant among the boxing fans. He didn't say, well, you know, Queen Baumgardner, the fights that the public, that the soul of the people are really calling for is Serrano. The fight that they really want to see, that they are galvanized and inspired and incited by, is Chuck Taylor. None of those names were presented in context to what is being demanded, what is being asked of, and therefore what has relevance among the boxing fans. So as big as those names are, like I was saying earlier about the resumes versus the accreditation, she has all the accreditation in the world to gain from Chuck Taylor and Amanda Serrano. But it means nothing when the heart of the people is standing next to the name, the actual name, and it happens to be a name that isn't as accredited as Chuck Taylor and Serrano. Do you get me? So that the opponents, Amanda and what's his name, have all the accreditation attached to it. They have merit, they have stature, and they have a name. They have all of the above. But what is resonant, brothers and sisters, with the people is the fight that they actually believe, for whatever reason that you want to, deem it to be. They think that there is a challenging matchup, a legacy matchup at hand when it comes particularly to Dubois. That's what has the people incited. Even though she is not as highly accredited as the other two women. So that name matters. The valor and stature of the person with the name matters. That's why I was bringing the examples of, of a champion, but they may be a lackluster opponent, or let's say they're a great opponent in the case of Chuck Taylor and Serrano, two great opponents, right? But the resonance, brothers and sisters, I don't want that to be lost. I don't want that to go over anybody's head who have tuned in this evening. The soul of boxing isn't necessarily and solely attached to the accreditation in and of itself. There is a heartbeat, there is a pulse that boxing fans are speaking to in tandem with the hardware that you amass for yourself as a champion or whatever have you. Do you understand? Now, I wanted to really quickly, before we round things out here, play for you the quote, Claressa Shields' response, just in general to Baumgardner's performance, because a lot of what she said, a lot of people may take that as her being, whatever, because people have all types of thoughts about Claressa and take different varying perspectives as far as, how they feel about her, whatever have you. But I thought whatever she said here, everything that she said here was spot on. And I wanted to share that with you.
And you do all this talking about what you can do with me, what you can do with Caroline. That girl had you running tonight. Soon as you got tired and you got touched up, you got on your wheels.
Let's digest that. Now, of course, I explicated to you guys earlier that there were moments where Baumgardner absolutely had her hands down, baby. Okay. She had her hands down. You know what I mean? She was getting mollywopped all upside the dome. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Looking flustered, fighting on the back foot, not even having success, fighting on her back foot, right? Do Re Mi was coming all the way forward, even if she had to goddamn swing from her motherfucking hip, swing from Korea to goddamn land a punch on her at times. That's what she was doing. But nonetheless, she was definitely having way too much success for somebody that is claiming to be her. Somebody who is claiming to have been there and done that with the quote unquote best or whatever have you. You damn sure as hell got the beats put on you at very particular moments in the second half of that fight. So Claressa is definitely well within her right to say, okay, well, you looked amateur, way too amateur to be calling my name or to be even trying to smite the skill set or the level of development, particularly of Caroline Dubois, the woman who defeated the woman that you just picked up from the grave. Let's take it back.
Amateur tonight. And you do all this talking about what you can do with me, what you can do with Caroline. That girl had you running tonight. Soon as you got tired and you got touched up, you got on your wheels. Remove the name Claressa Shields out your mouth, bro. Quit saying my name.
Is she lying, brothers and sisters? Like in viewing the fight that you saw last night, keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Is Claressa Shields lying that she has no business uttering a syllable in her name, let alone the entire name of Claressa Shields? Is she lying?
Touched up. You got on your wheels. Remove the name Claressa Shields out your mouth, bro. Quit saying my name. Quit hating on me to make yourself look better. Because when you get in the ring and you fight, you don't look better.
Child, let's break that down. Quit saying my name to make yourself look better. Let's deal with that. Even in the buildup of this fight, Baumgardner was mentioning Claressa's name, right? And I definitely caught wind of it, right? Going on these different talk shows, talking about Claressa's physique. Oh, she don't got no abs, right? I'm not sure if you guys came across that little clip that was going around on Twitter. I had come across it one of these days earlier in the week, and in the previous week, I should say, in the lead up to the fight. Oh, Claressa don't have no abs. Why are you worried about Claressa's abs? Don't you got a damn do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do to you know what I mean? To clean up real quick? Why is Claressa's abs even on your mind? So that in order to gain and galvanize attention towards this fight, that was absolutely of no consequence, apparently. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like universally speaking. You're always really checking for this fight like that. You know what I'm saying? But here she goes, of course, in order to bring the interest in, let me say something, scathing about Claressa Shields, right? We're going to talk about her physique. We're going to talk about her whatever, right? But we're going to talk about her is the point in the lead up to the fight. So there's that. That's just this week. But of course, we know that just in general, her entire visibility came on the part and on account of the woke Claressa Shields, brothers and sisters. I would say the biggest reason why this woman is known, this is my posit, is because of the contrived beef with that she started with Claressa and Champside. That's why this woman is known. That's definitely why I know her. I first and foremost only know her because Champside. That's how I first got onto her. And then, of course, there was the offset and the spiraling off of the tit for tat energy with what's his name. But I remember the time where they were actually cool with each other, right? But Champside is the first person that put me onto her. But her widespread acclaim and visibility, her being noticed was via the back and forth with Claressa Shields. Had nothing to do with her undisputed. Had nothing to do with her, you know what I mean? Oh, and the what do the guys call that? Beautiful brothers. What do you guys call that with the models, the clickbaiting models or the Instagram models. There's a term for it. I can't. Oh, thirsty something. The thirsty pics or whatever it's called, right? Because she's fine, right? She's lovely, and you know, and she could fight, right? So that her looks, of course, was a part of that as well. Very attractive, feminine type of, you know what I'm saying, energy, whatever. So that's how I know her. That's how Champ Side, because Champ Side was in celebration of that, of her being sexy, right? So there you go. But that bringing it back to the Claressa is that absolutely 1000% she got the notability and visibility from riding Claressa's name. Most certainly, without a doubt. That's the most premier reason, in addition to the others, right? So once again, Claressa is not off here either.
Remove the name. Remove the name Claressa Shields out your mouth, bro. Quit saying my name. Quit hating on me to make yourself look better. Because when you get in the ring and you fight, you don't look better. Alycia and you, Shadacia, y'all need to work a little bit harder because you can't fuck with me with this boxing shit.
I posit the question again, brothers and sisters, based on the performance of Baumgardner last night, based on any perception that you have of Baumgardner, and definitely based off of Shadacia goddamn Green, who I never thought was worth a damn, if I'm going to keep it honest. You know what I'm saying? God bless the sister. I don't want to down her or anything like that. I support the sisters, you know what I'm saying, who are in boxing. It's a tough sport, you know, for men or women. You know what I'm saying? I know the sacrifice and the training, and Shadacia obviously put her time in. So I'm not trying to censure you know, that sister. But as far as her quality of output and skill set, I never found her to be a skillful competitor in the least bit. Never. I never looked at her and said, oh, this is the one. I think to me, the most scary thing about her is her appearance. You know what I mean? And I say that to say that I never thought that she was on par with the GOAT, ever. I found it to be laughable, if I'm going to be completely honest, which I am. Like I said, I'm not saying that to be rude or to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I like that she is a fighter, and wherever the sisters, you know, are standing up 10 toes, you know, they have my support. So I would definitely wish her the best, you know, if she decides to return, hopefully that she's healthy, because I know that she was taken, you know, to the hospital and stuff like that. So definitely peace and prosperity to that sister on her journey in boxing and whatever else she has going on. You know what I mean? But as far as on par with the GOAT, never that. Never that. And that's always been my stance on that. So once again, it's Claressa goddamn lying, brothers and sisters. I'll let her continue.
Because when you get in the ring and you fight, you don't look better. Alycia and you, Shadacia, y'all need to work a little bit harder because you can't fuck with me with this boxing shit. You can't. You can't. These girls ain't really got no skills for real, bro. Like real shit. Real shit. Like just stop, bro. Just stop. Remove Claressa Shields' name out your mouth, bro. Especially you little. Remove my name out your mouth, bro. Real shit.
Case goddamn closed, brothers and sisters, in that order. In that order. Totally and absolutely agree. Now, this little last clip that I wanted to show you, of course, before we round out, and I know I've been going for a while and really checking with the good family, but I definitely will. Just give me a moment, okay? This last clip that I wanted to get into here was just one, just for the sake of it, because I thought it was a perfect way to end you know, the name calling. This is exactly why I confirm and I concur wholeheartedly with Claressa's statement, because when she had the opportunity to get it popping with the sister to GOAT, this is what happened. She tucked her goddamn tail. Here we go.
I wanted you. You were so jealous. You're envious. You always wanted to be. You can never be. Never. You can.
So she said, "You're so." This is Alycia. You're so jealous. You want to be me, brothers and sisters. What does that have to do with fighting? don't give a damn how you look. And even let's say if there was some jealousy, let's just use that as an example. Are you trying to get these gloves on or not? Let's say I am jealous of you. What you gonna do about it? Do you get me, brothers and sisters? What I'm trying to tell you is that my demon time is such that I don't care what the circumstances are for the reason why I don't like you or for the reason why I want to, prove my valor, to prove that I am better than you. I want to dominate you. The reason is of no goddamn consequence to you when we are both competitors, when we are both saying that I am her, especially when you've been goddamn calling my goddamn name. Claressa did not call for this woman. This woman called for her, right? And so Clarissa's like, okay, first of all, I thought we were cool or whatever, but let's say we are cool with some competitive shit, or let's say if I took it personal, whatever the case is, I accepted the challenge. Here I am walking up on you. I'm telling you that I want that smoke. You called my name, here I am. What's popping? Why are you telling me about the reasons of, why I'm jealous of you, girl? Are you trying to get this work or no? You saying everything, but let's fight. Let's run it back. Notice how the woke Claressa Shields is just swallowing this woman. Do you see this presence of Claressa Shields, brothers and sisters? Who the hell in their goddamn right mind who is on that type of time is going to sense this presence all up in your face, all up in your space? And you don't got no heat in response to that. Your best comeback is you jealous of me when this woman is all up in your goddamn grill? That's the best you got? And you turn it around and you're going to start talking to the audience and looking for the man to hide behind. You'll see. Let's continue to refreshing the palate and the memory of the people. Look at this energy. Look at her running into the arms of that man. She sees the man and she wants to tuck herself into the arms of that man. And look at the presence and energy of Gwot. Two absolutely contradictory energies, brothers and sisters. Pay attention. Who's really about that? Who's really about standing 10 toes and proving supremacy?
I want it. You are so jealous. You're envious. Girl, you always want to be. You can never be. Never. You can never.
She turns and walks away towards safety. Safety.
I want to be. You can never. You are one-time undisputed champ. And then you are judging. And then you have split decisions. What is a quote? Split decisions. What the fuck is a drug team bomb? Claressa getting knocked out. You're not getting no knocked out. Who are you knocking out? For real.
Notice how she starts to turn and bring her attention to the audience to get the audience to chime in. She's trying to look everywhere else but at that pressure that's in front of her with the Gwot. Oh, let me turn to the audience and see what y'all think. She jealous of me, right? She thinks she cute, right? She not as cute as me, right? Looking everywhere the hell else but at the motherfucking smoke in front of her. What type of energy is this? Is that somebody look like they on demon time with all the shit that she was popping? Keep in mind that this woman was talking all types of crazy at this time. Except when that smoke ran up on her, changed completely. Whole different tune, whole different energy.
Drug team bomb. Claressa getting knocked out. You're not getting no knocked out. Who are you knocking out? For real. That's my I'm not a drug team. That's what we know. We know I ain't no drug team. That's what we know. We know I'm not one-time undisputed.
So here go Ressa. At least I'm not one-time undisputed. At least I'm not a drug cheat. Wouldn't somebody saying that to you cause you to get some action going? I'm not talking about fighting, right? Because they're both professionals, right? But I'm talking about a show of valor. Where's the respect? Didn't she say to Caroline that this is a respect thing? Where was it a respect thing with the quote? Does she look like she's earning the quote's respect? Or is she looking completely disrespected and having no smoke for that pressure being given to her? Let's continue.
When last time I had a split decision? Envious of what? Insecurity. What insecurity do I have? If y'all know a woman, this woman talking about. Do you know a woman? This woman wants to. Don't nobody want to be no drug cheat and no fucking loser.
Here go the insecurity. You're insecure. Really? Who looks more insecure? The woman that got her back turned and is trying to look for an exit route from the confrontation, or Claressa Shields that hasn't taken her motherfucking gaze off of Baumgardner yet? She is locked in. Claressa Shields is a whole shark. If she could, she looked like she would bite that woman's head off right there. Who's looking insecure, brothers and sisters? You tell me.
Do you know a woman? This woman wants to. Don't nobody want to be no drug cheat and no fucking loser. She get all these split decisions. Who are you knocking out? Again, an insecure woman. Listen again, an insecure woman who wants to be a drug cheat with Alycia. You might as well give me steroids too. Give me steroids. Yeah, and I want you to shut my mouth up. Shut me up.
Do you hear that? Okay, so they do the sassy whatever, and then Claressa's like, oh, she said, I think Baumgardner said something like, yeah, you need to shut up or whatever. Claressa intensifies the pressure. So all of that heat that was already on 1,000 just went to motherfucking 2,000 on that bitch, okay? When she said, oh, you can shut up or you can be quiet, she says, oh, really? Shut me up. Shut me up. And this is the response to that.
Who wants to be a drug cheat with Alycia? You might as well give me steroids too. Give me steroids. Yeah, and I want you to shut my mouth up. Shut me up. Shut me up. Shut me up.
Brothers and sisters, she put a goddamn hand up because she wants to be cute, right? Because she feels safe to do so. And Claressa put hands on her, brothers and sisters, which we already know what time it is for the real ones out here, the OGs. You know what I mean? We know what time that is when somebody puts their hands on you in the streets. Claressa Shields said, enough goddamn bopping of the gums. You put your hand in my face, I'm going to touch on you. That's the universal goddamn signal, brothers and sisters. Why the hell didn't Alycia turn herself around after feeling Claressa push her hand down and get on smoke time and match that energy? And they're going to have to break us up. I ain't running and tucking no motherfucking tail. They're going to have to drag me out this building. Where is that from Alicia Baumgardner, brothers and sisters? Let's take it back.
Yeah, and I want you to shut my mouth up. Shut me 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 up.
Pushed her hand twice, and Alycia didn't turn to look at that woman, let alone do anything about that. Nasty work, brothers and sisters. And this is, once again, I must emphasize and posit this, came from a woman who was talking all types of crazy. So much so that when they were at the same event, Claressa Shields says, enough of the goddamn internet talk. We're going to face-to-face this shit the fuck out. And whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to spoil no bag. I'm not going to, render myself, a complete idiot and looking unprofessional out here. But I'm going to check you. And when she went to do that, baby girl had no goddamn pressure in return. That's the reality.
To be a drug cheat with Alycia. You might as well give me steroids too. Give me steroids. Yeah, and I want you to shut my mouth up. Shut me 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 up.
Didn't turn turned to look at that woman until she saw that somebody grabbed Claressa to push her back a step or two. That's when she turned around. Only then, when she felt safe and secured that Claressa was being moved away from her, did she turn around.
Shut me up! 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 Shut me up!
And Claressa is still saying, shut me up. Shut me up. You do it. Do it. Just like I'm waiting for her to put the collar on the puppy that she calls Caroline Dubois. Right? Go put a collar on her. You doing all this talking. Where's the action? Here's Claressa saying, shut me up. You told me to shut up. Shut me up. She's looking for the output, just like I am, just like the good family is up in here, and anybody who wants to see, some actual pressure. But all we get is a constant evasion of that pressure. And here it is in real time against Claressa Shields about 2 years ago. Absolute evasion and the tucking of tails.
Shut me up! Shut me up! Shut me up! Shut me up! Do it! You ain't done shit. What? Insecure about what? You could never be. I don't want to be a fucking drug queen.
And she proceeds to exit the stage in the safe arms of this white man. Okay, thank you, sir. Get me out of here because this pressure I want no part of. It's too much for me. It's too hot in this kitchen. Get me out of here. And she saunters her way out of there. Ain't that about a bitch, brothers and sisters? Now, I like Baumgardner, but I don't like cowardice. I don't like inanity. If you're going to do this, if you're going to say that you are her, if you are going to make these types of proclamations, if you are going to do this and that and the third, you know what I mean? Get to your mountaintop. Go ahead. I like you to get to your mountaintop. I like you to believe in yourself. I like you to fortify yourself with that confidence. Okay. But in a warrior sport, in the sport of competitorship, of warriorship, right? Such to the degree, that I exemplify and want to see exemplified in the warriors that I have supported historically throughout my love of boxing and my time in boxing. I want to see you support yourself. I'm asking for a call to action. I'm asking you to show me. Don't just simply tell me. Tell me on your way to go doing it. There's a problem where there is no follow through within this current landscape, brothers and sisters, as exemplified here, right? In the many examples given with Baumgardner, as aforementioned, among the men's division as well, right? With E.T. Stevenson, Purple Pain Davis, that we've seen it exemplified within the antics and the charades of Teofimo Lopez, what we see with Coastal Davis, and all the list of the other names, the litany of names, right, that we could pull from the people who have assumed this mentality that I'm going to talk about it, but I refuse to be about it in the proving of my valor, in the proving of my stature, and so forth, etc. Right? So that hopefully that we got a good picture here of this mindset that is just placating mediocrity. That is the mediocrity that's being placated, is that there is an allowance for this to take place, right? And it's through and through. You got the placating of it from some, particular boxing fans. You got the placating it from higher levels within media, the pundits, the correspondentship, who aren't holding these people accountable, just like the fans aren't, right? And of course, at the top of that, we have the fighters themselves thinking that it is, cute, thinking that it is trendy, thinking that it is becoming of them as a fighter to refrain from the very thing that stands to make them great, that stands to prove their supremacy, that stands to mark their legacies, so forth, etc. The refraining from that is where they get their attention, because they can get on their soapbox and get a click and a view on Instagram for a sexy picture, get a click and a view on a sassy comment made on Twitter, right? Get a click and a view from going on movie sets to make videos of fake call outs, but not having any motion or any action to actually get the thing you're actually calling out, etc., etc., etc. It has to end. It's diabolical. It's ruining the sport. It's a rotting perspective that needs to be eradicated. This mindset is doing nothing to further or advance this beautiful sport that we love called boxing, brothers and sisters. It's an absolute hindrance to it. And we will forever be, at a distance from seeing wonderful, beautiful fights being materialized, as long as people are assuming this particular pompous, baseless position, like Alycia and all the rest, who unfortunately are exhibiting this behavior. Let me check in with the good people before we wrap up. Infinite blessings to you guys. I wanted to actually get that out. Let me scroll a ways up to see some of what I missed. I know I can't read the entire chat all the way up from the beginning, but let's see what some of the good family has been positing. I'll try to go a little bit further up. Let's see. Yes, that was her name. Yes. Yes, comrade. Oh my God. Y'all are crazy. I'm just reading and scrolling through. My twin says, real talk, Alicia Baumgardner will get beat if she fights an A-class fighter. She's not as good as she thinks she is. That's interesting. That's interesting. And my stance on that is that may very well be true. And even though, like I said, I applied a lot of pressure and I turned the heat all the way up on high on this ass today. I like to think that she is as good as she says that she is. I'm just simply asking her to go prove it. You know what I mean? I would like for you to be everything that you say you are. Go ahead and go prove it. And if you're not, that's to be seen. She's still very young. And it's not to say that because she would lose to a Caroline Dubois or whoever, or Katie Taylor or Serrano or anything like that, that she is any less of a competitor, right? Because battles are fought and won and fought and learned from on the battlefield. You understand? So like she can only be made through that. And a lot of the times, as we know in the history of boxing, some of the most beautiful warriors ever have learned through their defeats and have still been statured, highly statured, even despite acquiring a level of defeat or however many that they have acquired in their careers, right? But that, you have to go out there and make yourself. You have to be willing to go out there and do that, in war among the best, And so I would like to see her push for that. If she really is about that, it is actually her refusing to do that, and people of this mindset refusing to do that. That would denote otherwise to me. You know what I mean? And that's what they don't get, twin. They don't get that actually getting in there and getting in that pot is what will make them improve that. It's not the simple, exclamation of it. It means nothing without the service behind it. You know what I'm saying? The King Bonnie salute you. He says, quack. Wasn't it some duck shit? Wasn't it? Child. The comrade says, simps are us. Oh my God. Ain't it? Ain't it, twin? A lot of motherfucking E.T. Stevenson energy, Purple Pain energy going on out here, you guys. You really can't make it up. Let me actually go a little bit further up. Does she, Caldwell? Absolutely, I agree with you. Because I was definitely repulsed last evening in hearing all of this cowardly talk and the tactlessness that she, for whatever reason, chose to share with the public. Absolutely tactless in that moment with that statement that she made. All right, let me scroll a little bit back down. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. I know I've been on for a good while. Let me see. I think I saw that one. Salute to anybody that may have missed. TZ Frank in the building. Blessings to you. Wasn't it too much information? 1000% King. 1000%. The King Ron Ya, let's see what he says. He says, looking real mid after that fight. Pretty. I don't see it. Definitely was looking mid, you guys. Wow. TZ Frank also posited. Caroline made a good point. Baumgardner's power hasn't looked the same since that positive test. She did make that point. She absolutely made that point, And even though, I know that she was cleared of that, she had her she had her 1-year suspension due to that, right? But then I believe there was just, some subsequent rulings that kind of cleared her of that. And they deemed it to be, I think it was consumed mistakenly. I don't know how she proved that, but she must have proved it in order for them to come with that conclusion that she had mistakenly consumed something or whatever have you. So ultimately she was cleared of it. But, like Dubois says, you took a damn PED, ma'am. I've never done anything of the sort. So in that regard, we are definitely not the same. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my beautiful king who posited earlier for the people to smash the like button. Thank you, king, because I always forget. I definitely forgot until I just came across your comment. Hit the like button, good family, right? Share the content. Exactly, comrade. My boy Ariel was like, nah, F that. What's up with Dubois? Absolutely. He made no bones about it. He didn't mince his words. He didn't stutter. He did not hesitate. He said, this is what they want to see. What's up with this fight? And it's absolutely diabolical how she responded. Absolutely disgraceful and very, very disappointing for me, as somebody who has supported that system. It's so sad to see, the mentality dwindle so devastatingly in boxing. The more and more people that assume that ridiculous mindset that they ought not to fight the competition and the elites around them, and especially the ones that the heart of the people have their soul around. You know what I'm saying? That's very disappointing. Very disappointing for me. I'm not even going to cap. Yeah. Yes, King Rodney. That Korean chick was dropping them bombs on the bomb. Wasn't she? I'm looking at that second half of that fight like, uh-oh, what the hell's going on? Why are your hands down, girl? Why are you looking sloppy on that back foot? Why are you not answering? What are you doing? Like, why aren't you? Where's your defense? Is she ever going to get that defense together, brothers and sisters? That's another interesting part, of her journey, and seeing her tighten up and stuff like that is that defense, because there is definitely way too much room to be exploited, as far as Caroline is concerned. You know what I'm saying? Caroline is a boxer puncher. So there are a lot of avenues that she can take advantage of in facing Baumgardner that would be interesting, right? And, and I want to see what areas she will make interesting as far as what she'd be able to pick apart with Dubois, right? That's why it's a beautiful fight. Talking against this fight in any way, brothers and sisters, is a disservice to the sport and a disgrace to the sport. It's a wonderful fight to be made, just as Chuck Taylor. I think Chuck may goddamn retire, but if Serrano wanted to fight or Chuck wanted to fight Baumgardner, those are wonderful fights too, as we all know. You know what I'm saying? But to dissuade from any of the biggest fights that we could think of for her, even if there are other names, right, of people that we may come across who we feel may be a talent for her, she should be mingling with these warriors. She should be looking at those sisters like, yeah, let's get that work in. That's the name of the game. And it's ridiculous to me how these people wrap their minds around the fact of it being otherwise. It's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. My twin says, exactly, with Alycia, it always seems to boil down to looks. I think Claressa wants to fight. Yeah, it's a difference in energy. It's a difference in energy. Say what you will about Claressa or whatever other fighter that you have. I don't think that anybody has a shadow of a doubt that, Claressa likes to gain her accreditation and she likes to fight. That's what she likes to do. She does not want anybody, in or around her at any particular time to be called her. She's like, excuse me? No, that's me. That's only me, right? Call it arrogance, call it whatever it is that you want. But she's a competitor. That's how she should feel when she is in this game, right? She could play the humble game or the I rest my case game when she retires. But while she's a live lioness, ladies and gentlemen, she's out for blood. I got to hunt, period. Nobody's calling themselves, her when I'm in the building. I mean, if I can get to you, of course, she's up at heavyweight now, but if I can get to you, child, you know what I'm saying? There's only one me. Right? And we know that Claressa was willing to prove that against Baumgardner. She was willing to prove that, right? And the run up on her was an example of that. At that time, Claressa was definitely willing to get it popping with her. Sent her an offer that was subsequently rejected by Team Baumgardner for whatever reason, right? So Claressa wasn't just barking. She sent that woman an offer and Baumgardner turned it down. That's just the facts. All right, let me scroll a little bit ways down. The King Caldwell, blessings. He says, this live was so needed. Couldn't wait for a real queen, goddess, woman, someone who carries all of these titles proudly to address weird ass Alycia in the nonsense that she's been displaying. I appreciate that, King Caldwell. Yeah. We need conversations about this rampant mentality in boxing that seems to be taking a rampant position within boxing. We don't need this mentality among these fighters spreading, brothers and sisters, and we certainly don't need the extended boxing community placating to it, kowtowing to it, making any allowances for it. You know what I mean? Because the mentality can be checked. It's just a matter of how things are done. Like I said, even to the correspondents or to the so-called journalists or pundits or whatever have you, commentators, whatever have you, interviewers, podcasters, whatever, when they are in the presence of these fighters, to bring accountability to the table. That must be had. You know what I'm saying? Because if they feel that they can get away with this in any particular way, then they will continue and forever make excuses for evading the best and most significant fights. You know what I'm saying? And that is a cause for the diminishment of the sport as a whole. You cannot look to diminish significant fights because you are essentially putting the flame out. You're stomping the flame out of the sport as a whole, because if it can work here, then it could spread here, it could spread here, it could spread here, and then there's no fucking boxing to watch anyway at any particular time. Boxing dies, right? You got to go where the heart is, right? And so the pulse of the fans dictate what has the most merit, what's among the merit within the sport. It's just something that you cannot bypass. The greats were made through that very pulse, right? They wanted to prove to the people, they wanted to prove to themselves that I can reign supreme, or I am of a same stature. You know what I'm saying? That is worthy of competing with equally fiery, creative, passionate warriors of my day, with my contemporaries, whoever they may be. You point them out, but we go on to war either way. Somebody got to goddamn go, but we're gonna make this goddamn fight happen. That's the spirit that's lost, brothers and sisters. That's what I find to be highly problematic in today's climate. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Blaze, pound for pound. I see you, King. What did you just add? He says Claressa should call out Lonnie Daniels and take those belts from her. Lonnie Daniels is only 5 pounds lower than Claressa right now. Yeah, Lonnie, I know their names she's been calling out Lonnie as well, Claressa. Did she do a face-off with her or something like that? I saw something maybe last week where Claressa was talking about Lonnie, or there was some type of exchange between them, I want to say. But yeah, I know that she is definitely on her purview for sure. She's definitely in her scope. Lonnie Daniels is definitely in range of the Goulds target. I've been hearing their names together quite frequently as of late. The King Stephen says taking steroids by accident is pretty strange, to be honest. Ain't it? How the fuck I don't even know how that happens. I have no idea how that even happens. Oops, I walked in and I fell into this goddamn steroid. How do you even do that? I have no idea, especially when these people have strict, diet. They have dietitians that they're supposed to work with, all types of nutrition, based things that they say, especially with their fights, they have to know what it is that they are ingesting. It's just weird to me that you accidentally, you know what I mean? It's weird. Like, did she try to claim contamination of a product that she used? Like, how the fuck? Oh, this batch of eggs had, some motherfucking, I don't know, crack up in here. Let's test the batch of eggs or whatever. Like, I just don't, like, if you didn't prove that it was, let's say, like something completely out of one's gauge and control, like contamination of a particular product or whatever have you. Other than that, I really don't know how anything outside of that can be considered a mistake. You know what I mean? It's just diabolical to me as well, King Stephen. I definitely agree with you on that. Okay, I think I got some super chats, brothers and sisters. Let me check in with the people who showed love to the channel. I'm in such gratitude to the good family who came in. Thank you once again to the King Freedom who showed love earlier. Let's see who we got up in here. We have the King Rania, big stepping with some support. Thank you so much, King. I appreciate you very much for supporting the channel and, of course, for joining me just in general. I appreciate you showing up today. He says, Sugar Free, you one of them ones, Queen. Salute. Blessings to the King, Rania. I appreciate you for that. Oh my goodness, King Freedom came up in here again. Hold up. Salute to my counterpart. He says, AB is clearly ducking Caroline Dubois. I'm done with the broad. Not just for ducking, but the attitude around ducking. This is how I carry it. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, she's definitely lost so much of my respect with what I heard last evening. I was just like, what is going on? Like, oh God, now don't do this, sis. Don't do this. Not this. You know what I mean? Very disappointing. Who else we got? Oh, my twin. Salute to my twin, the King, Daryl Anderson. My twin, big infinite love to you always, King. You already know how I'm stepping with you, twin. He says, just adding my usual color in the chat for the in-depth women's boxing talk this Sunday. Great live from the twin. Thank you. I just started blushing. Thank you so much, twin. I appreciate you so much for your constant support. You already know what it is. All love, 10 toes all the time for my twin. Yeah, you guys, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I definitely wanted to get that on the table for the good family, you know, for a good discussion point. I thought it was definitely worthy, as it is so relative just to the current dynamic, you know, holistically within boxing that we see being exhibited from Baumgardner. And we see that being translated and transferred, you know, among a lot of the prominent fighters, you know, whether in, you know, women fighters or the male fighters, that we see the prominent fighters as a whole, you know, kind of assuming this stance and this posture is absolutely ridiculous, and something needs to be done about it. And the truth tellers, as my good comrade would say, you know, are some of the people on the ground really holding a light to this stuff, right? So yeah, I wanted to bring that to the good family. I think I will end it there. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know it's touching 9 o'clock where I am here on the East Coast. Infinite blessings to you guys. I hope that you guys enjoy the discussion. Hit the like button on your way out. Anybody who may be considering becoming a member, definitely do so. Got some stuff that I'm working on for you guys exclusively. I know it's been taking me a little bit of time, but I am finalizing some concepts that I want to bring exclusively and only to members. So definitely consider becoming a member, share the content, you know the drill, guys. But most importantly and above all, I'm extending infinite blessings, big love, big energy to all of my good family who showed up here today, and to good family who may be going to catch this on the replay. Salute to everybody. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a blessed week ahead, you guys. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.